episode of Expand the Universe. I'm your host, the greatest American ever lived, the SRGPOSS. Once again, star-studded cast here. Huge surprise. I'm going to try to rattle off everybody. There's a lot of folks in here, a lot of bodies going on. We have, what day of the week do you represent, Mr. Rumble?
Mr.
For me,
Sunday
it's
night.
7 days a week.
Mr. Sunday night,
Sunday?
sir.
Mr. Sunday
Sunday night.
night. You know, we're going to be working on something that he had created through the Spotlight page of Kickstarter. We greatly appreciate that. We have not one, but two members of Project Spider, the player of the era, Mr. Press 1P, and Mr. Brian Lee. Then we're going to be working on a new character for Sean Braden. He's here with us. And Sean's got some sick art. He had a lot of crazy ideas that we were talking about it before the show. Elvis absolutely crushed. We're going to work on a brand new entrance card and a flip competitor. What else? We got, is Trey even here, or are we just sending representatives out?
He's here.
He came in.
He's here.
Number one contender for the Underworld Championship, Mr. Trey Cantrell. I went to get some rice, and everything changed. You know, it was just three of us talking. Now we got a full lineup here. In the chat, Schmidt's got some logos. I have a hard stop at about 2 o'clock today.
Yep, I do too. 2 o'clock hard stop.
Giggity.
Giggity. Hard.
All right. Is anybody here on a time constraint that needs to go first?
Yeah, I've only got about an hour. I got to be done by 12.
Oh, boy.
I'm at lunch.
Right, so we're going to start off with you. And
All
by
right.
God, this
All
time
right.
I'm not taking it now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Sean,
I
you're
am
you're
not.
representing
Just to let you
Kentucky
know.
area, right? What
Me
about you, Ron?
so-
You got all day?
Yeah, I'm on vacation.
Ooh.
Very nice.
Ooh.
Very, very, very nice. All right. I got an idea. Maybe not a good one. Did you want the logo white? Is that your thing?
Yeah,
or-
I just want it to be easily legible with a border around it. So white is fine with me, yeah.
Okay. I'll show you my idea. You can
Oh, I
if you
see what
like
you're
it,
saying.
you can pack it up or you can send it right back. Oh, I know what you talk about.
I know what you talk about. I got a message. Our world.
All right, you guys, while I'm thinking around with this, Sean, if you want to tell us a little bit about this character, what his backstory looks like, it has like a Cosmos theme, which I'm all for.
Oh yeah. So my idea was I want a competitor that's not gonna break the game. Like I'm not racing to finish you, but by crowd meter 1 or 0. I want it to be stronger the longer the crowd meter goes. That's where I have my most fun when I play my games. The back and forths, the big crowd meters, who can recur their things. So I wanted someone that gets a little bit stronger as the crowd meter goes on. And I want things that line up. Like that's what syzygy means. Like when the planets align, like the stars are aligning. So I was kind of going with like the stat line. It's not competitive. In fact, it's probably detrimental, but it's like 10, 10 power all the way down to 5 grapple. And then on the flip side, it's reversed. It's like the planets come around, and they're opposite on the other side, right? The gimmick of the competitor is, when you have one of each thing in play. So when you line up a strike, grapple, submission, doesn't have to be in that order, but when you have one of each in play, draw a card +1 on the front side. When you hit a second, strike, grapple, submission, draw 2+2, draw 3+3. Now, if that's too strong, I get it. If you want to cap it, I get it. That was just the idea. I just want to line things up and be rewarded for doing so. And then
Nothing you really had kind of jumped out at me. It's too broken. Obviously, we'll take a closer look while we're here. Before we
Okay.
jump too far ahead, do you like this with the cosmics, over the white, or do you want to go white?
If we do that, I'd want it to be easily legible. So maybe a white border instead of the black border. I just want it to be easily legible when
Morning, Big Bad Baba D. Good morning, Stephen Moonstar. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello.
I think I could get used to this standing desk.
Right?
Sean, you working in an office? You said you do some IT. You a standing desk guy or what?
I have a desk that I can stand at. So I do IT support for other companies. So mostly, second level help desk, as in like I go fix things that other people can't fix. So I have the blessing of not being stuck behind the desk all day. I get to walk around. I take the stairs from the 21st floor. Uh, it's like 420 down, 360 up, you know. Um, I
You
have the
said
blessing of
white
being able to
border
get
or
out of the
black
office.
border?
Where the other
White.
stairs go?
White border. I prefer. I'd like to see the white border, but I really just wanted. I like the white text. I think it's fine. Because then if I ever go to sign it, let me see it on the competitor before I complain. But it it'd be cool to like be able to sign the white letters and everything too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very cool. I mean, I could leave it white.
That doesn't look bad. Can I see it on the competitor?
This office we're gonna use tonight. Yes. That office is not usable with that. They're gonna have 4 cookies on it.
So maybe instead of the same color, can you like black and white or sepia that out the colors?
Hmm.
Do you want me to? I have.
Schmidt, fumbling, mumbling, stumbling. What's up, Schmidt?
Nothing. I'm thinking right now.
Don't do it too hard.
What you thinking about, Schmidt?
Think about his first overall pick for the 2025 SOG Olympics.
Baby, you know who I'm
Rambo
going.
Apocalypse.
Rambo
Oh, there's
Apocalypse.
Another one in here. Oh my god!
Yeah,
This is
we started
in a
early.
match on stream. They have a whole collective together going over every move. My goodness. I gotta move this stupid screen here. Side one is blue, right? Or no, red.
The first side is it's red. Power's at the top. Yeah, look at that happy guy. And then is it possible? Is it possible to do the stats without the black border?
The black box.
Yeah.
Anything is possible.
Ooh, exciting. That looks awesome.
What office you take?
What?
What office you take?
What's one? Hey, do we have a sort of sheet? I haven't talked about that, but.
All right, so logo number one will look like this.
Yeah, I'm kind of digging that.
Hey, if you want to just leave it, I'll just leave it. It's my life easier. Logo number two. Image mode. Logo number three.
Ooh. I didn't even think of that. It's got the-
Yeah, I think I like the white one.
All right.
And then can we get it to clear my forehead? Is that good?
Yeah, I'm gonna do my best.
Appreciate
Unless your forehead was Chuck's.
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that'd be a 5 head.
No, a 5. That's being complimentary. It'd be like a 20.
And
All
then
this.
one last request.
Uh-huh.
Could we move the stats up to the top left?
Mr. Sean, how do you pronounce this character's name?
Syzygy.
There you go, Kirk. Syzygy.
Like I just learned about that word like a week ago.
So I'm kind of enamored with like that three body problem, not like the movie or the show, like the actual
Right.
three body problem, like where in space is the center of gravity of a stable three body system. It's pretty cool.
I didn't even know that was a word till right now. I'm not even gonna lie.
So it's
Googled it.
basically like just the planets align, right? Like
Planets
it's like
align, yeah.
that Greek and Roman mythology type. Um, so that's on the back side, I think. That should be the flip side.
I think Steve got ganked by a family.
Yeah, Steve will be right back. There we go.
For each strike, submission, and grapple you have
Yeah.
in play, your breakout roll are +1. Your breakout rolls.
Yeah,
Right? Does that
that should
does
be on
that
the
hit
back
what we're
side,
trying to
right?
hit?
I
That's
think
on the
that's-
backside.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. What was the front side?
The front side is for each time you hit a strike, grapple, and submission, +1 to your next turn roll and draw a card. However you want to word that. Just simple, and
And how does it flip?
While I have a strike, grapple, and submission in play, I may flip.
Why don't you put him here?
I may flip this competitor, however you want to word it.
Hello, baby girl. This one is pretty easy.
Steve, you were pretty fired up about that rice. What were you eating?
Yeah.
So it was a basic fried rice with string beans,
Ooh.
Oh,
and Dollar Tree actually has these things. They're called jasmine rice. It's like a little pouch like this. You just rip the top off, throw it in for 90 seconds. Comes out amazing.
That's
If
what
you
I'm
like
talking
jasmine
about.
rice, it's real good. And then I just kind of took my leftovers, string beans, fried rice, white rice, little soy sauce, sauteed it or put it in the pan for a little bit. And it was amazing. I'm a big reincarnate your leftovers guy to something. So this is pretty straightforward for the back. The wording on this for the front is a little strange. I'm gonna see if I could get this right because it is definitely
So
not as easy to phrase as I would think. When you hit a strike, grapple, or submission, if you have, so yours is only when you make a set.
For anyone else?
yeah, so when you have so basically when you have a 1-2-3, like a strike, grapple, and a submission in play, you get a +1 for each strike, grapple, and submission
you
for like this. I was calling them sets because
You
I
could,
think that's easier to it keeps the wording down.
you could do a thing like you did with General Lee Wong, except it doesn't have to be a number specific. It just I don't no, actually no, that's just for turn rolls. That's a turn roll thing, not a card thing.
How about
Mine.
when you hit a strike, grapple, or submission, your next turn roll is +1 for each. Your next turn roll. I think I'm onto something, but I'm not sure if I'm right there. Your next turn roll.
Yeah, draw 1 +1 for each set of strike, grapple, submission you have in play.
His new card is going to be kind of crazy with him, right?
What do you mean?
Play. The ones that like they count as 2.
Yeah.
When you hit a strike,
that's what I
grapple, or
was-
submission.
Is that for each set of so the set makes it clear that you have to have 1, 2, like you have to have a strike, grapple, and submission, and you get 1 draw and +1 for each strike, grapple, submission. Not like if you have 5 strikes, 4 grapples, and 4 submissions, you only get +4 draw 4. You don't get +5 draw 5. You have to have 4 and 4.
Well, hold on, let me clarify something. Say my first three turns, I go lead strike, lead grapple, lead submission. What happens?
I get
Draw
+1
card,
+1.
+1 your next turn roll.
Draw 1 +1. Yeah.
Draw 1 plus.
So it's not. Yeah, draw 1 it's not very strong in the beginning, but the longer the crowd meter goes, the bigger the board gets, the more it starts to
Did that clarify it for you, Mr.
Build up-
Rhino?
Well, I thought it was you draw 1 for each move type in play, meaning like you would draw 3 + 3 on the first 3 cards.
No.
So that makes much no sense to you.
Yeah, that would be really strong.
So now you would go 1, 2, 3, you draw 1 +1, and then assuming the boards don't clear, if you did another 1, 2, 3, you would draw 2 + 2, and so on.
Yes. Yep. And it's just that idea of building momentum. I have more fun as the game goes on. It's not very strong in the beginning, but like as the crowd meter goes, it gets stronger and stronger. And then I can flip it at any time.
Okay.
Well, the flip would be if you had the 3 types in play, right?
Yeah, so maybe just could we add like,
Or-
and you may flip this competitor,
Well,
or just you may flip this
No,
competitor.
I thought I heard you say that earlier. Yeah, did you say when you have a strike, grapple, and submission in play, you could flip it, right?
Yeah, so until I have a set in play, I can't flip it.
okay.
Is that what you said earlier?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Mhm.
Oh no.
Not this.
What the hell?
That's terrifying. Oh, that's the Ipsum Dolorum.
I'll try to decipher that.
So when
But-
you hit
Bob put something in the chat. Once per turn for each set of strike, grapple, submission, and play, draw 1 card and your next turn roll is +1. You may flip this card.
Once per turn would ruin the concept.
but you just get 3 in play, and you just every turn you just get a free draw on +1.
You can limit it to however much you think is fair. That was the concept is.
I don't mind the hitting part of it. How do you word it to trigger once you hit all 3?
I don't think
After-
the,
When you hit a
After you
strike,
hit-
grapple, or submission, draw 1 card. No, okay, hold on, yeah. This has to be first.
I don't think the once per turn ruins the thing, because in theory you're only activating the gimmick once per turn anyways.
No, you can activate it multiple times. You can hit strike,
Rolling
grapple,
full armor
submission.
if you get one of the no 10, 30
Oh,
sustained.
I guess yeah, if you want
multi-hit.
to do it that way.
Yeah.
That was
Or you
that
can
was
hit it
the
on a
whole.
stop.
Wait,
Like
Yeah.
if it was once per turn, you'd want it to be more than just +1 draw 1, which I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be like generally Wong, right? Like I don't want my gimmick to just be a different flavor of draw 3 +2 or something. I just want it to be like it's not that strong in the beginning, but as the crowd meter goes on, you build up the
So in
momentum.
this case, if I have all 3 stops in play, I play a stop, I draw 1, get +1, and then if I get 3 stops in play again, whenever I stop a card, I'm gonna die on this rice, damn it. Not a good idea to be eating a bowl of rice while having a talk show.
Yeah.
So like playing a stop, then you'd be able to draw 2 and get +2 on each stop. That seems super strong. And then if you win the roll, you play a card, you get to draw 2 +2 again.
That depends. So
Right? Like this is what I'm envisioning. I have all 3 cards in play, which is not that difficult. I play a card, I draw 1, I +1. Now your turn, you play a card, I stop it, I draw one, I plus one. Now it's, assume I get to turn again, I play a card, I draw two, I plus two. Now you go, whenever I stop you, I'm gonna draw two and plus two. If I have 6 cards in play, that seems like super roll.
Once all 3 are in play.
So yeah, that's what I envisioned.
What-
It only triggers
how I
when all
envisioned
three
it.
are in play. So what the way I worded it, when you hit a set of strike, grapple, and submission, draw one card and your next turn roll is +1. I didn't want it to trigger every time you hit. I just wanted it to
Oh,
trigger when you hit the
that
set.
that seems once you complete
So for
the
each
set.
3.
So what about this?
Yeah, for every third hit. So I have to win 3 turns or stop 3 cards
Yes.
to even draw one and +1.
What about this? After you hit a strike, grapple, and submission, draw one, and your next turn roll is +1 for each set of strike, grapple, and submission you have in play.
And you may flip this competitor.
Well, I would do period. And it says when you have a strike, grapple, and submission in play, you may flip this competitor.
Pete, am I confused that all you did was change when you hit to after you hit?
Well, yes, because it's when you hit it. You want to, because if you do when you hit, it would be like instantaneous potentially on when you hit every single one. The word after is meaning it happens after all 3 are hit. Like it insinuates you have to hit all 3. Because if you do when you hit a strike, grapple, or submission, draw one, that could potentially mean, oh, I have all 3. When I hit any of these cards, I'm going to continuously draw 1 +1.
Okay, so
As long
Yes,
as-
that's what I thought. Yeah. That's what
I put what
it's,
my intention was in the chat. If you guys want to let me know.
The
if
problem
that
is
works.
there's no such term as like, excuse me, a set. So while that does make sense, it just doesn't make sense to anything else that's out there. It would be like we have to now define a new set of rules. So I think there is a way that we can word it. After you hit a strike, grapple, and submission. I don't like.
Well,
It's clear what it wants to do, but it's very hard to keep track of, right? Like,
Well, let me ask you a question. So we don't have to go super crazy. What is comparisons here? D1, when you hit a submission, draw 1, right? He hit 3 submissions, he draws 3. You look at Papa Wheelie version 2, when you hit a strike, your next turn is +1. So he hits 3 strikes, your next turn is +3. So you can't do three types for a draw 3 +3. What about a very simple, after you hit a strike, grapple, and submission, draw 2, and your next turn roll is +2. And that's it. Like have a consistent draw 2 +2.
I'm okay with that. I feel like that's stronger than I was
Plus one
thinking
would
of.
be
Though.
2. Well, it's about complication, right? I
Yeah,
think draw 1 +1 would be too weak because you're doing 2 things for hitting 3 cards, where someone can draw 3 by hitting 3 strikes or +3 for hitting 3 strikes.
right.
So draw 1 +1 for 3 cards is too weak.
True. But
So
then as the crowd meter
I would
goes on, I would be able to draw 2 +2, draw 3 +3, draw 4 +4. It's stronger.
wait,
in a longer
when you
crowd
say the
meter.
crowd meter goes on, like, are you saying that this would stack like even after they cleared from play?
No, no.
He's
Right,
talking
so
about the board state.
Like if
Means
I have
if a
4
fish
sets of
doesn't-
strikes and grapples in play, strike, grapple, and submissions, I would draw 4 +4. It's very hard to get
Yeah.
there, but it's happened before.
Yeah,
Right.
well, I mean, I think the confusing
Do the
part is
math.
that like that has nothing to do with
If
the
you
crowd
do-
meter, right? That's just
if you draw 2 +2 on the first set and draw 2 +2 on the second set, you now outpace what you had envisioned for 2 sets.
Okay.
And then draw 2. The third set is 6 and 6, which is then equal to what you had envisioned from the first set. The only difference would be if you happen to like super long game and go 4, then all of a sudden now you went less than what you're envisioning in exchange for consistency.
Okay. I mean,
Right, you're-
is it too strong though? I don't want it to.
after
I don't want it
you
to
hit
go
a
worlds or
strike,
anything.
grapple, and submission.
You know, I want to be able to
If you
play
have
it for
a
as long as
strike
I
grapple submission in
for as
play,
long as I want.
after you hit a strike grapple and submission for each set of strike grapple and submission in play, draw one card, and your next turn roll is +1. What's unclear about this?
Well, you said you didn't want to use the word set. I don't disagree that you can do this. I think you can say after you hit a strike, grapple, and submission.
Well, I didn't want to use set in the sense of after you hit a set of strike. I guess it doesn't matter at that point. But my wording was trying to say like after you hit a set of strike, grapple, and submission. But I think in the description of for each set of strike, grapple, and submission, I feel like in the explanation point it makes sense, but maybe I'm wrong. You know, I just thought like if you say when you hit a set. Maybe you could just do it if you're already doing it. I don't know. This is new terrain for me, so I don't want to confuse everybody with my.
What happens if the board?
What? I didn't hear that.
Well, you know what you can say, like calculating, meaning if I would hit a strike and then I threw a follow-up grapple and they APOP'd it, now I hit a grapple and submission. Now the gimmick now sees that I hit a strike, grapple, and submission, but now I don't have any sets in play. So what about? No, you can't do when you hit a strike, grapple.
To me, this might read fine.
It
After you hit a
calculates
strike, grapple, and submission, for each strike, grapple, and submission you have in play, right? Not end or, right? So it's and, it's all of them.
Yeah.
Draw one card, and your next turn is +1. When you have a strike, grapple, and submission in play, you may turn this card over.
Hey boss, can we remove that
Yeah.
third strike, grapple, and submission line and just put like and? So it's
Okay,
I
so
can
my
only flip
question-
when I
this
hit
is
the
what-
set, right?
You're only flipping after you hit the set,
Yeah.
right?
So we
That's
don't
what
need
you
that
want?
that third strike, grapple, and submission line in there.
8 versus 10. What is going? Wow, the chat is loving this gimmick.
Is this? I think this is clear as it's written. I know P can't see the screen. After you hit a strike, grapple, and submission, meaning you have to hit all three, for each strike, grapple, and submission in play, draw one card, and your next turn roll is +1.
If John's
If it said
saying that it's too
or
weak,
submission in play, then it would draw 3 cards. But since it says end, that seems to make sense.
yeah. So John's saying that that's too weak. Is that too? I mean, I was okay with it originally, but if it's too weak, I'm okay. I'm kind of okay with that because the idea was it gets stronger as the crowd meter gets longer. I don't want it to be like.
I don't know why it would be too weak. I mean, at the end of the game, if I could throw a Tree of Woe and draw 2 and get +2, I feel like that's a huge swing. Or at the end of the game, I could throw a Tiger Driver and add +2 to it, like even possibly +3. Like I don't feel like that is too weak personally. We also didn't
Yeah,
do
I
any
agree.
finish cards yet, so we kind of don't know, to say it's too weak.
We also haven't hit the back
Is-
side of this card yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just for each set that you have
So
in play.
I kind of felt that like you should be
Oh my
able
God,
to
I
flip
was
at.
in this whole time.
What's
Thank
that?
God for that.
I'm trying to ask what happens when the board clears in the middle of calculating the gimmick.
It restarts.
Why would it clear like an
If you
APOC?
hit
APOC.
with APOC, but then you wouldn't be
I-
hitting the grapple.
Yeah,
I mean, you could
wouldn't
hit an
the card.
offensive, or you could hit a strike APOC.
I hit a strike. I
Yep.
hit a submission. My
Uh-huh.
opponent then just offensively APOCs me, whatever. The board clears. I now hit a lead grapple.
Nothing.
It now has fulfilled my gimmick though. I hit a strike,
Yeah.
grapple, and
Is it
submission.
when you want them all in play though?
Yeah, but you don't have
For
any
his
in place,
gimmick.
so you'd get +0 or draw 0.
Correct. So now does it restart? So now the grapple that's in play no longer counts.
No, it's
The
it's
grapple
when
in
you
play
have
counts,
them in
but then he's got
play.
to have a strike and sub in play. He's got to have all 3 in play for his gimmick.
Follow me here.
I
hit a
got you.
strike.
I got you, P. I got you.
I have to then hit another grapple, correct, to start
Let's
this
eat your
over.
food. Come on.
No. I got you, P. I'm picking up what you're putting down, man.
I'm just,
That would clarify. I get what you're saying. Yes, I get what you're saying. You hit a strike and a grapple already, so now the counter is going,
What?
right.
and
What?
now the board is cleared. It's not there.
What's on?
Now, if
Right.
you play,
Why did you
I
touch
played
the
a
TV?
strike and a grapple, and they APOC me.
Leave it
Now I
alone,
play a
okay?
grapple
Let's
and
go
a
grab you
submission. I
Your
fulfilled my
pepperoni
requirement,
and your
Now I
cheese,
start
okay?
over. Right? That's what you're saying. So after you hit a strike, grapple, and submission, and have all three move types in play, that's the clarification
Come
we
on,
want
let's-
today.
So grab your food. Come on.
This will only trigger when you have all three. move
Okay, go
types.
down on your
Yeah,
butt.
and that was the intention.
Yes. That cover it, P? Now I want to look at the whole package. I was wrong when I said this might not take an hour because we'll get there. But personally, right now, I don't think you should be restricted to turning over when you hit a card. That's just me. I also have the knowledge of what.
Then
the
you can
backside
put
does.
um
So let's we'll come back to it when we do everything because I might be totally wrong. As I said, I took a quick glance at the finishers. Let's see if I could spell this word right. The first go. I have no idea. Syzygy? Did I get that right?
perfect. Yeah, SYZYGY.
Let's go.
Now, my second question is, what happens if I go strike, strike, sub, sub, grapple, grapple? After I hit that first grapple, is it only clearing the first set and then the other two stack, or does it restart back to 0?
No, you would draw 1+1, and then when you hit the second one, you draw 2+2.
So it doesn't clear the second,
Yeah, you're not
the second
tracking
strike,
it.
and the second grapple.
Yeah, it's not being tracked. It's just if you hit one and you have the other two in play, draw 1+1.
Well, that now again, Sean, that's
Now,
the way you just phrased it is contradictory. It's you're saying it only triggers when you added the third one, not when it hits every
Leia.
time. So if P's saying
Amelia.
if I go strike, 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 grapple, submission, right? Now the submission would trigger once because I have a strike,
Yeah.
grapple, and submission.
You draw
in place.
1+1.
Don't do
Now,
that. That's not nice.
If you played another
you go.
submission,
Sit down and eat, okay?
nothing would happen.
Nothing would
there's
happen.
not a third.
Right.
Yeah. Now if you played a grapple, you would draw 2+2.
Don't
Draw
get it
2
on the
plus
floor,
2,
okay?
yes.
Yeah, you follow that?
yeah. I think.
Might be one of the most confusing things for people. Oh my god, Matt Haas's head is going to explode.
It's
Matt
pretty
Haas bet
simple.
me $500 that if I remade a death metal song with actual vocals, it would not be good as an actual death metal song. And he said I could survey 100 people. I said, well, it must be to 100 random people, not 100 death metal fans. I think I would win this bet handedly. What do you think? And then we'll ask him to decipher this character, and we'll just ruin his month.
I'm pretty sure you do 100 people with that. They're all going to say that it sounds better. Because the death metal fan base is 0.1% compared to the pop fan base.
Yeah, no, this was literally my argument, and he doesn't think I'm correct.
Well, this is the same guy that said I like the majority of other high school kids grew up listening to death metal and wearing. He used the word. So
What a conversation I walked into.
Yeah. I heard my voice this morning practicing my death metal growls.
You
I
just
could do
gotta squeal like a pig, man. That's how they do it.
Yeah.
Little brie action.
Okay, so now the backside is your breakout rolls are +1 for each strike, grapple, and submission you have to play, right?
Yeah.
what?
P, why are you so confused?
your breakout rolls are +1 for each strike, grapple, and so a set of strike, grapple, and submission in play.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're picking it up, putting down, baby.
Okay, you have to put the word set.
It says "and." So do I have to? Because if it or
think
would
in
mean
this-
that it's not a set.
I think in this instance, both and or would insinuate the same thing.
I don't.
At least
To the field, am I incorrect? I don't know.
I mean, I originally have set of strike, grapple, and submission just because it's very clear. There's no way to interpret it otherwise. Because it
Yeah.
could be ambiguous if you don't put that.
Yeah,
We
you're
already,
right.
we already have it on the front side, so it shouldn't be too big. Of a
I took
delay.
it off the front, but I probably could
Oh.
just put it in.
I know there's other characters. I would need to do my research on it, but I know there's other characters that say, like, for example, draw 1 for each strike and grapple you have in play. And if you had a strike and a grapple in play, that character would be drawing 2, not 1.
Don't forget the of boss, OF.
And that's all of it for side 2, right?
Mhm.
We haven't even hit the fun part. We got an entrance card to work on.
The entrance, the strike grab. So, if you guys thought the front side was crazy, wait till you hear the finishers.
I don't.
There's
I'm
So-
I'm scared.
swords.
My idea is, after I hit my finish, I may leave it in play. The only bonuses it gives is when I roll. So, for example, the strike. When I roll strike or agility on my finish roll, I get +1 for each set in play. That way, if I leave it in play, it doesn't increase my stats, so it's not broken, and it only increases those two rolls on my finish roll. And the same thing for the grapple. And then the gimmick is, we're lining things up. When I hit the sub, you can't reveal spectacles and you can't break out. I have to have all 3 finishes in play in order to get that. So you have to let me leave 3 finishes in play or 2 finishes in play to get that effect.
Ooh,
Huh?
some spoilers on the screen.
Yeah, but after the next finish,
Yeah.
I don't see how the first finish, unless you're saying if stopped. If you're saying after the
Yeah, yeah.
breakout, because we've always played
put
it
it on top.
where like Mr. Snap, like the snap keep, for example. The only way the snap keep stayed in play is if the breakout was from that finisher. If it was in play and then I hit the strike finish, the snap keep wouldn't have the option to stay in play again.
So we can either do. I mean, the thought was after I hit it, so it has to hit, and they break out, or yeah, if they break out, then I can leave it in play.
Right.
First ball up is the strike.
That's so fucking sick.
Language.
Oh,
Eh.
bombs!
Can
There we
tell,
go.
can tell he's new here.
Bombs!
Yep.
1,000. It is. I do agree.
Couple of questions before we get to the strike. The stat lines completely swap on the backside, just double confirming that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. And then is the backside too strong? I'm just curious.
I
Like,
mean,
if you
you
guys
need
wanna
6
limit
cards
it-
in play to get +2 to your breakout rolls.
Oh,
Yeah, you'd need 9 to get +3. You'd need 12 to get +4.
With the
Oh.
no stops, though, you could cheese it
Yeah.
Yeah,
in
Yeah.
theory.
might have to be a max there. The new stops are like
And I'm okay with.
I'm
Yeah,
not
if you
sure.
wanna
Do
do
you
like a
know what
max-
these new cards?
If you want to do like a max 3,
You know
I'm
what the
okay
new
with
cards do? They count as 2 cards in
Uh,
play.
Because off
yeah.
top
I
of
was
my
gonna
head is
say, maybe it'd be like
Phoenix
Phoenix
is,
then at 3.
yeah, we're thinking the same thing. It's top of my head is max 3 and it only gets on 3 spots, right?
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
for each set I have in play, so I have to hit 9 cards to get the benefit.
yeah.
There
And
are
not-
cards that
not
count as
anymore.
2.
Yeah, they're cards that count as 2. I don't know if you know that those are
So
out.
if
Oh,
you have
I
one,
don't know
2,
about
and
that,
3,
no.
yeah, 1, 2, 3 count as 2. So then you automatically, if you have a 1, 2, 3 in
1
play,
through
now
6 and
it's
19 through 21 can count as 2.
I love this guy. He's so honest. And end of the game, it's still not incredibly powerful. That's why I'm like, yeah, give him like a decent amount. But like, sure, mid game or if everybody's playing a rejected, it could be pretty sick.
Just
What's
in
the name
trouble
of
with-
this one?
This
with the
one,
following.
crap, hold on.
Yep.
This one
Yep.
is solar plexus alignment.
It's a good name.
It is a good name.
I'm trying to straighten Hollow King's chest out, you know.
Anytime who beats up on the Hollow King is good in my book.
Nah.
Oh, that's nonsense. That's a TVA guy. Leave him alone.
That's why we beat him up. What do you
No,
mean?
I
Right,
didn't-
so-
I know.
This is your strike and agility is +1 during finish rolls for each set you have in play.
No.
Right?
So when
Something
you
like that.
roll strike or agility, your finish roll is +1. I don't want to increase stats because then
Yeah.
leaving it in play would be really, 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 really strong. And that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for I just want to line up all three finishes and then like be rewarded for doing something that's insane that like nobody should reasonably be trying to do.
When you roll strike or agility for your finish roll.
It is +1, or yeah, your finish is +1.
Having trouble figuring out how all three stand.
Just your finish roll is +1.
Just the finish roll, yeah. That's all I wanted. And then if your opponent breaks out, you may leave this in play.
Okay, so this is the problem. So now you leave it in play, and then you hit another finish.
Yeah.
That finish can stay in play, but this one you cannot.
Just
This
have
would
it
then
say
clear.
after a breakout roll this after your opponent breaks out, this card can stay in play.
Oh, so
And you have
so
that
what
on the
about
strike and the grapple.
whenever an opponent breaks out, you may leave this card in play?
Whenever
Would that
your
make it a
opponent-
spotlight?
Well, no, it wouldn't hit the graveyard
No, but it's split. Yeah, I don't know.
or the discard.
But like it would be like a resto push, right?
Yeah, it's still a spotlight.
I really don't want it to be
How
a
is the
spotlight,
snap keep?
'cause
How is the
then it
snap
just
keep
gets
worded?
turned off.
Tell you right now. Going to the PC.
Because I think snap keep was ruled when they break out of that card, right?
Say
Snap
after
keep
like
set.
I kick.
Here it is. Snap
Finish
keep. Your
roll.
opponent's gimmick is blank. Your opponent buries one random card in their hand for each card you have play. Snap. If your opponent breaks out, you may put this card into play.
Right, which insinuates that one, or at least it
I
always
was
has.
gonna say people's casual. If your opponent breaks out, this card remains in play.
Is it
The button.
Is it
button check
possible
key.
to leave it in play without it being a spotlight? Because then it just turns off. I'll never be
So
able
that's
to.
what I was saying. Because people's casual is not a spotlight.
Yeah, there are plenty of those that stay in play after a breakout.
Joker fishes.
Like
Wait, what is
Jokerfish,
fe-
his aren't spotlights.
Okay, hang on.
Wants a separate sentence that say, after your opponent breaks out, this card may stay in play, or like after your in general. If something is
But the people's casual
outside
only
of the
missing.
finish,
It's not a
that is
spotlight
directly-
because it triggers off its own effect. He wants this to stay in anyone that comes off. Right?
If an outside entity is triggering something that's not the finish being hit, that unfortunately is considered a spotlight. So proceed with caution if you want all three of these to have this effect.
So then, how
My
about
professional?
Okay, hang on.
opinion.
This says if your opponent breaks out, this card remains in play. Yes, that's
That's what he's
Insinuate.
trying to get at.
okay? So can I?
yeah.
Because I don't want it to be a spotlight. What if we give them the text? When your opponent breaks out of your finish rolls, you may leave your finishes in play. Any of your finishes. Does that have to be a spotlight? Because it's still hard to line up. I just want to leave them in play. Is our Joker because our Joker fishes are his
His or
To-
if stop gives me stay in play.
His or if stop. I was going to compare it to the Kota Ibushi finish sub. Ibushi says if your opponent breaks out, you may put this card into play. Now his gets discarded whenever he hits another card, but his also gives like flat boosts.
But he's trying to leave two in play.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's
That is
the issue is they're trying to get multiple in
Multiple.
play. in play without having a spotlight effect. Oh,
Could
So
you
is
have
it-
one of the
Uh,
finishes
the-
be able to double hit? To be able to play the other finish and make it work off that way?
Instead of
Like
just
strike
leave,
could
you may
play,
leave this
stay
card
in
in
play, but then
play.
the grapple could let you play the sub.
That'd be really strong. I'm just
Because
trying to
the way
leave them
you're
in play.
trying to phrase it right now is you have to hit all three, right?
Yeah, so after I hit all three and I have all three in play, I do something like you can't reveal spectacles and whatever, right? Like you can't break out or something. But I have to have all three. So you have to let me leave all three in play. What if we add it to the gimmick on the backside?
So Kirk put a suggestion in. I'm just gonna put it in a chat.
Well, I know what you're going to suggest of doing that as part of the gimmick. I really like trying to steer away from two-part gimmicks. It's like the breakout defense and that kind of.
What if that was the only gimmick then instead of the breakouts?
Yeah, I mean, if that's when your opponent breaks out,
Or
you may leave finish cards in play.
Well, I was gonna say, you may choose after you hit a finish, you may choose not to discard it or move it to the discard or whatever. However you want to phrase
I
it.
mean, that still wouldn't keep all of them in play, unfortunately.
Well, you just word it after a breakout.
I mean, the other thought I had is you could have one of his finishes say, after successfully hitting this, you may swap this finish with another finish and cancel the finish roll. That way he can play like a sub, swap it to the strike.
After a
finish roll.
breakout, you may choose to not discard your finish cards in play. With that one line, just do everything we're trying to do right now.
After any breakout roll or after your opponent's breakout roll?
After any breakout roll.
You want me to turn these computers on and see if they're communicating and everything?
Yeah, we can. They should be. We checked and they have
Now
that.
the question is here, Sean. You're getting it when you roll strike or agility for your finish roll. Your finish roll is +1. The way this reads right now, unless I'm glaringly overlooking something, you're only going to get +1 of your finish roll when you have all three in play. But I guess it would be crab eater 3 at that point, right? So it's like,
Yeah, so that's the point. Is a blanket
just be
+1
over.
is broken no matter how you look at it. And that the only benefit I get for having all three in play is that blanket +1.
yeah, and then plus the crowd.
Plus the
which is
crowd
not
meter.
any-
Yeah.
So what does it say? After a breakout roll, do not discard your finishers from in play. I recommend also putting the logo finishers, of course.
Oh yeah, you don't want to leave like schoolboy or something in there.
After
Yeah, and I think you would have to cut the
breakout.
other one. And you'd have permanent +1 to breakout.
Again, very honest. He was thinking schoolboy. We were thinking death by elbow.
Yep.
After a breakout roll, you do not need to discard your logo finishers.
Say the name, P.
I don't know the name.
Syzygy.
Scissor G Daddy.
I'm just gonna sizzle like a singer and call it a day.
See,
Scissor
Polverino
me.
also learned about the word syzygy today. It is an actual word, Polverino. I learned that about 45 minutes ago.
Syzygy, me, daddy sack.
Yeah.
Just a wait, it's not like a pun on like synergy or something.
No.
No, it's
No,
an
it's an
actual,
An actual word.
actual word.
This is why this is the best show. We actually learn things here.
We do?
And what does it mean? It means
Debatable.
alignment.
Planetary.
Or you like celestial bodies in limit or something?
Yeah, it's
like-
just a planetary alignment.
Yeah, death by elbow in play would be pretty gross.
God, Swaggy's gonna love this entire theme.
Yeah, he is.
I still need to circle back to the front side, folks, because we have so many scenarios that we have to talk about.
I think we covered them. I think you're just not paying attention. I could be wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Kirk is saying after a player breaks out, you may choose not to discard your logo finishes from play.
Is that what I have on screen, Schmidt?
I don't know.
That's my
'cause-
intent. Yeah.
but Is that what you have?
My
on Sub?
first. He throws whatever
Okay,
lead.
yep.
I hit him with a stop or a follow up stop, say follow up grapple.
Mhm.
On my turn, I then throw a finish submission. It hits. The board's now clear. On my next
Mhm.
turn, I lead with a lead strike. I now fulfilled the requirement. There's nothing.
No, you didn't, because
there's
we
no
changed
step-
this wording 45 minutes ago. We changed it.
What is the wording now?
You have to have
No,
all
I'm
three
not
in
going to
play.
go back and forth because you don't got it on the screen. I'll get it in 2 seconds. The wording is when you hit it and have all 3 in play. So it's not tracking if there's no other cards in play. It only tracks when you have the other cards in play. So that it won't be like I hit a lead and a follow up. That's a strike and a grapple. Then you hit a finisher and it clears, and now I play a submission, and now I have a floating. The submission part is gone, and now the 2 other cards can come in play. It's just it'll only count if you have a strike, grapple, and submission in play, and you hit those 3 cards.
Yeah, no, I think Steve cleared the wording on it properly.
Let's just see. Let's just save side 2.
So if cards get discarded, then
You basically reset.
Mhm. Yeah, that was the intent. It's not good in short crowd meters, but it gets better the longer the crowd meter goes on.
you have to hit them in a set of 3, and they have to stay in play. This is
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
So this man sees Kenny Omega across from him in the square. He's crying.
I
Got
mean,
it.
Yeah, if I'm
Yeah.
if you're discarding my cards from play, that's just the life I chose.
I like that. I like that.
Like you're not
Um,
putting a token on it each time you get a strike grapple. So
Exactly.
but-
That's the
Yes.
After you hit a strike, grapple, and submission, and have all 3 move types in play, for each strike, grapple, and submission in play, draw 1 card, and your next turn is +1. Okay, so a couple things I'm going to say here. I don't think your flipping aspect of this should be limited to when you hit the card. Because I feel like it puts you in like a tight spot, right? Well,
Say
maybe
it
wouldn't
again. I'm
make a
sorry.
difference. So like you're only so for example, if I have a strike, grapple, and submission in play, right? And then
Yeah.
I play my finish strike, then this character would not be able to flip to his second side to keep it in play. Because you didn't fulfill the set the second time, right? You follow me on that?
Why don't you just do when you have a strike, grapple, and submission in play? You
That's
may
what I had
flip this
originally. You
card
may
over.
turn to so or over as a second part.
Yeah,
That's what I
can we-
originally
Can we
had.
do that then?
I mean, is there flipping back on the stay in play side?
No.
Or it's
Hey, come on, you know the answer to that.
I know the answer. I'm just confirming. Yeah, I
And
would
there's
just
no
have
flipping
it
back ever.
say. Right, so I would just say when you have a strike, grapple, and submission in play, you may flip this card over. At least you at least gimmicked once before that happened.
I'm not trying to
And
be.
that way
I'm not
you-
trying to be that guy, but Sean did say he only had an hour. I kind of want to at least touch on the grapple sub before we
How
get on
close
the
are we to that hour?
technicalities.
Yeah,
5 minutes.
5
according to
minutes,
my
Steve.
clock.
5 minutes, Steve.
Yeah.
So, at least let him
Uh,
get the text off the grapple and the sub, and then
Well,
we can.
It's the same as this, right? Just for power and technique. That's what we're working with.
Yeah, it's the exact same. It'll switch. The grapple will be power and grapple, and the submission will be submission and technique.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure Sean got everything he wanted said before.
I appreciate that. I did not realize.
Blind man trying to keep everything on
Getting so
time.
close.
So
Listen, man, I didn't understand the saboteur until I found out
shit.
E2 started at 10 today.
Sean, what I want to talk about is this entrance card. The entrance card is he wanted to do something where like when you roll, why is my thing going crazy? When you roll like X skills, sort of like a summoning circle, shuffle back 1 card.
yeah.
So that's like our starting point.
So is the strike, grapple, and submission? If I roll strike, grapple, and submission, I get to shuffle back a card. Is that too strong?
I think so. I think that's
So
it.
then,
Basically gives everybody an extra gimmick. I don't know what this random.
then I'd be cool with just doing all 6 and just having a worse summoning circle that anybody could use.
Yeah, I don't know if even that's what I want to talk about. If even that is too good, but maybe it's not.
And then Kirk and I were talking, and if that's too good, we could just limit it to flip competitors.
I think that would be hard to do because there's no like. It would have to be like characters that say turn this card over or something, you know.
If your character
then-
has 2 sides, you may use this entrance.
Yeah, and then I feel like a lot of people are going to be like, "That's been pigeonholed into spending, you know, $200 extra." I don't know.
I mean, how can you make this like a house always wins style card?
Yeah, I mean that was my thought. I just don't
Having
know. I think we could
concepts.
definitely come up with something that everyone can use. My initial idea, and again, this is just going initially, is that a summoning circle that lets you shuffle back a card, every time you rolled all 6 skills, might be too good, but I could also be totally wrong on that. You know?
I mean, it's worse than summoning circle, like way worse.
Yeah,
But you're not
it's
limited by
summoning
stat
circles
wise.
is
It's
like-
no difference.
an Ikuzo card. I mean, the
And it's
whole
also-
continuous entrance card effect was always intended to be strictly for
Steve, I
Ikuzo
thought we weren't doing spotlights
pirates.
on the finishes.
No, he's deleting him.
I didn't put any spotlight.
Oh, okay. So-
It's a default thing. If the
Oh,
last
okay,
one
okay.
he worked on had it, he just has to remove it.
Yes, sir.
So we can brainstorm. I'm not stuck on this thing. So I just want when I line something up, I get to do something.
Something
So it
good
could be
happens,
your
yeah.
next turn rolls +1. It could be, I mean, anything that you think.
The thing is,
not-
like it going over and over again. I feel like is where the hang up is, right? Like if it was like a one-time very good effect,
so
you know, for all 6, that would
What
be
if-
fine.
What if we like you could have it on the back, so you line all 6 up, shuffle a card back, you may flip it, line all 6 up, and then it's gone.
Flip entrance. I would just say twice per match.
Twice per match.
Yeah.
Or twice per match, yeah.
Twice per match.
I mean,
If it's only twice per match, can you do just the strike grapple and submission then?
I don't know. I mean, like again, I'm not omniscient. I don't know if that's too good offhand. It might be fine, right? You get to shovel back the card twice. You don't choose when it goes off, right? That might be okay. Submission.
Let's just give
Uh,
a mad one on an entrance.
That
But
yo,
so
that
is-
would be pretty good with Mad One, right? Because it's like, oh, nuke their hand and then pick what I shuffle back.
And then just completely like.
All right. What's the name on the scrapple and sub?
The 3-body problem is the submission.
The
Great.
3-body problem. What does that mean?
Great name.
It's so this is what I was talking about earlier. When 3 planets are orbiting each other, there's a
Mhm.
center of gravity, but it's chaotic and it never repeats. So it's like the 3-body problem is if you can predict that, basically you can predict anything. So they're trying to figure out the 3-body problem because it's like this huge thing and like the outer space, astrology.
Oh, that's
Also
pretty
a
cool.
great
Basically like the
sci-fi
way
book.
It is a
Is
great
it?
book and a great show. So
True.
the grapple is Lunar Eclipse Bomb.
Ooh, a bomb, you say?
Boomba. That handsome man,
So I have one.
and he's taking out
I have
Slamilton.
one last
Slamilton.
request,
My man.
Steve.
Yeah.
Can we add
Yeah.
when your opponent breaks out, you may leave this finish, or if stopped, you may leave this finish in play to each submission or to each finish. I mean,
Well, the thing
That
about
way
it is you were
you-
worried about impact.
Crime doesn't pay.
blanking
Yeah.
I was gonna say crime doesn't pay, does the same thing. Is
Blank
you
Slayer
losing it off of
finishes.
impact.
So where I'm at right now, Sean, is that I intend to make these finishers stronger.
okay.
Because right now that it's not that powerful. I think they all need some sort of effect. So I was gonna work on that. And if you got to get back to work, we'll send you some screenshots. We don't
Oh,
have to
see-
obviously. I'll save this in
We
play testing.
we missed the for each set you have in play part. That
That's what
was
I
the
asked you,
intention.
man. Yeah, as I was like,
Yeah.
yo, you sure you just +1? Okay, now we're
Yeah, for
cooking.
each set you have in play.
Yes. Yeah. I asked for that clarification earlier, and I was like, this is way weaker than I thought. I mean,
And then if we
striker-
could
Yeah.
and then if we could do the if stopped, you may leave this card in play so that I can have him in play on the front side, and then strategically flip to keep them in play when I hit the second or third finish.
Sean, but we were saying the entrance crime doesn't play now blanks all those if that's what
They blank all if stop finishes.
because you're worried about
Oh.
impact with spotlights. But now if you do the if stop text added to those, now they all get blanked by crime doesn't pay.
So if we do when your opponent breaks out, it has to be a spotlight. There's no negotiating that. When your
No,
opponent breaks
no,
out,
no.
you may leave this finish in play.
Spotlight.
It
It's
could
not a
stay in
spotlight
play
if
for
it's
itself, but the other ones, like look at Resto Potion. Resto Potion is like after a breakout, you get to put it back in play. And the reason why is because it has an effect when it's not being played. Right? If
Yeah.
it says after a breakout, put this card back in play, and that was the finish you hit, it was currently being played. So it's not like an outside spotlight effect. But like Resto Potion doesn't trigger when you use it, it triggers later down the line. That's like makes it a spotlight. So
What if
we're
we just
trying to
say you
is
may
that-
leave it in play, just a blanket? I may choose to leave it in play that never hits the discard.
Right, that would still be a spotlight, right?
Would it?
Unless you put like
You can have all of these cards stay in play after a breakout, and it would not be a spotlight. The only thing you just have to understand is the next time you hit a finisher, you will get the bonus of the other one being in play, but now the board will clear. The other finish will be gone, and only the one that was hit and now stay in play.
Right.
Effectively,
So
you would not get all three in play.
right.
Well,
So
the backside clears
don't
it
have-
upside right.
the strategic is I hit the first one, leave it in play, and then when I hit the second one or before I hit the second one, I flip to my backside so I can leave the first one in play.
It's just it's so like
Yeah,
uh,
strategy trying to land things. It's not meant to be like
I mean, you can put
It's-
them all on the finishers. Every one of those finishers can say, after your opponent breaks out, you may leave any logoed finishers in play.
yeah.
Like you can do that on every finish, and I think that kind of defeats the spotlight part of it. No,
Okay. That's what I would prefer if we can do that.
I mean, unless I'm wrong, there doesn't that if every finish says the same thing after your opponent breaks out, you may put all, you may put any,
You may leave them
or
in
you may
play.
leave.
I was gonna say just the
Maybe,
strike and
yeah,
grapple he wants, right? If your opponent breaks
Well-
out, this card remains in play.
The sub two.
The subject,
I-
okay.
Yeah, I want it on all of them.
After your opponent breaks out, you may put, or you may leave any Stizza finishers in play.
Is,
Yeah, you may leave any logo finishes in play.
I don't think that's a spotlight. I think that's a stitch. It's the same thing as after a breakout, you may leave this card in play. I think it's the same thing. It's just like saying,
It's people
Like,
casual strike.
no, that one just says leave this
Yeah,
card in
that's
play.
what I was saying. If we worded it that way on all of them, right?
Well, no, you don't want them to only keep themselves in play. You want every single one of them to say leave any scissor finishers in play. It doesn't
Sizz-
trigger.
G.
It doesn't trigger in the discard pile. It triggers
On the board.
on the board. So I don't think that would be a spot.
So then we could change my gimmick to be if we're good with that, then we could change my gimmick to be the breakout ones again.
And if you guys are paying close attention, this is why Grandpack competitors are half the price, people.
I don't think my head has ever spun more.
yeah, no, I
Then-
agree. This is
Spinning like a
This is
planet,
quite-
baby. We're on brand.
Hey, we're just lining things up here, guys. It's simple.
no simple. Chuck is simple.
But simple.
Also true. We'll get him on here soon.
You hit 3 cards, you get a thing. It's simple.
Well, simple would be after you hit a strike, grapple, and submission, draw 1, and your next turn roll is +1. Meaning, even after a breakout, like you keep track, 3 little tokens. Oh, I had a grapple token.
That is
Strike.
not simple. That is ridiculous. That's a lot, and that I think that's what we were trying to avoid is tracking. Like if you have to start tracking things, then it gets more complicated. And I have ADHD. I don't want to keep track of it. If I have 3 in play, I want to draw 1 + 1. If I have 6 in play, draw 2 + 2.
Looking for Mr. Lepango.
Turnbuckle plans.
Box down there. Yep. So when all 3 of these are in play and you hit a finisher, you would get plus
Plus one.
+1 still?
Plus
Yeah.
1 for each set of strike, grapple, and submission you have in play.
Unless you hit a second set in between.
Yeah. It's +1 for each set you have.
And I'm just pointing out here, you're trying to say that you don't want to have to track things. If my opening plays are strike, 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 and then grapple sub, I will draw 1 + 1. But
Yeah.
now I need to also track the fact that I also still hit 2 other strikes. So now I have to play grapple sub to draw 2 + 2.
Why?
And so on.
That's not complicated. You just count the cards
But
in
wait,
play. Though.
P, if I have
Okay.
5 strikes in play, right? And then I play a grapple, nothing happens. If I play a submission, I draw 1 + 1. Now, if I play 5 more submissions, nothing happens. And then if I play a grapple, oh look, I have 2 sets. I draw 2 + 2.
Sure.
And that's simpler than most keyword competitor. Trying to track 18 different keywords that you have in play, it's way simpler than that.
18 different.
I don't know if I would go that far.
The
It's
keyword
way simpler
competitors
than
are when
that.
you
I don't know. JNK is pretty simple.
competitors are when you hit the card. So I don't know which one we're talking about here. I mean, maybe Uncle Awesome needs to look at face cards and draw cards and play.
And then so for the sub finish, instead of the leaving it in play, it's if you have a strike, your logo strike finish, grapple finish in play, your opponent can't reveal spectacles. And then I don't know if it's too strong to say they also can't break out, but I think making me roll a breakout is probably fair.
I think they lose, right? If you have all 3 in play, then you're at crowd meter at least 3, and your finish roll is boosted. So I don't know, like,
Yeah.
it's much of a different.
So just saying they
That's
can't
not
reveal
true.
spectacles is fine with me.
So if you hit 1, stays in play, hit 2, stays in play, and then you hit the 3rd, you're at crowd 2. And then say you only have 1 set in play. So all your skills are +1. So you're looking at +3 to all skills.
Right.
So it is not I just lose.
Is this true?
It is a very good chance I lose, but it's not a auto lose. 5 to an 8, 6 to a 9, 7 to a 10. Now, granted, I don't know the timing of your flip, but you could potentially be like, okay, I rolled my finish roll, which is a 5 to an 8. I now flip and it's a 10 to a 13. I win. If you timed your flip the right way, since you now have all 3 in play.
Wait, you just confused the hell out of me.
So I would have to flip when I hit the card before I roll the breakout.
How could flipping help you on a finish? I didn't catch that.
It's 2 different stat lines. So one is a botch, the other is not.
Yeah, but you have to
you're
flip before
saying-
you roll.
Yeah, you can't flip after the finish roll and change the result.
So my only inkling on that is Flip Smiley has always been he sees what he rolls and then he can flip. So like if Smiley botched with
I've
his,
never ever heard that in my whole life.
you're telling me that when a
Taylor, how long did you play Flip Smile? I have a question for you.
For like 2 years.
2 years. I could be wrong or right on this. would you be able to play your finisher, see the finish roll, and then flip and change the result? Have you
No.
ever done that? No,
No.
never
Turn,
did it, right?
turn.
Yeah.
Hi,
okay,
Penguin.
so
I
he's
always,
never-
I always did it to take a turn.
First of all,
PBA
I'd roll a
system. He said he
I'd
played
roll
it for
my
2 years.
agility.
Flip
No, I'd
Smiley.
never do that during
Oh.
the finish roll. It was impossible.
Flip Smiley says during your turn roll, first and foremost.
I do it.
Second one,
Turn.
Flip Smiley, if the front side of Flip Smiley rolled agility 5, he would then
Mhm.
flip to agility 10. That has always been something he has done. I'm just pointing that out there.
Yes, but not for his finish roll.
Okay, but it's after a roll was done, is what I'm trying to say to you. You saw a roll.
Yeah, but not for a
and
finish roll.
flipped.
That's why I was asking is how.
So you're just clarifying that seeing a turn roll is different than seeing a finish roll, even though both of them a dice was rolled and you saw a number. I just want to clarify that you're saying they're different.
We're saying my finish, or I flip when I hit the card, not when I roll the finish.
Well, you
So-
can flip at any point
All right.
based on the
Same way you could use the floats to change the result of your roll or any of the above. I would say you could do that with Smiley. You cannot use an effect in the middle of your finish roll. You roll your finish, you hit your finisher, you don't have the option to flip in between. You know, that's how I would say. I mean, I don't know how crazy of a gray area that is, but to me, it feels like it's very different. And again, I'm not saying that that's 100% coded, but
Well,
I
so
don't
don't
think
you
you should be
perform
able
the
to do an
text on the
effect
card
when-
before you roll the finish roll? So wouldn't that mean there is a window to complete effects?
Yeah,
You
well,
can
that's what I'm
abs-
saying. Like when it comes to turn rolls like don't finalize until like all the other effects are done.
You can flip.
Right? Like that's like a new
That was
rule,
never in
so.
question.
All right. So I am trying to navigate through this endless sea of space that we're doing here, and it seems like the longer we do it, the quicker the universe is expanding.
I think my buddy went to.
When you roll power or grapple for your finish roll is +1 for each set of strike, grapple, and submission you have in play. They all need you have.
And then I've got to go here soon, boss. But the backside of the competitor, can we change that back to the breakout rolls for each set in play?
Overpowered thing, which is definitely the most complex that we've ever had to navigate. What the heck? When you roll power or grapple for your finish roll is +1 for each set of strike, grapple, and submission you have in play. Okay. Strike. Same thing. And now the submission is supposed to do something totally different. Is that where we're at?
Yeah. So just if you have your finish, so it's the same bonuses when you roll technique or submission, +1 for each set you have in play. And then your opponent cannot reveal spectacles if you have your finish, grapple, and finish submission in play.
What would the spectacle do at that point?
Are you trying to insinuate like after the breakout roll of the third finish and all three are staying in play for the potential fourth finish? What would the fourth
No,
finish be?
I'm,
Like,
I'm saying when you play the third finish, they can't reveal spectacles against it
Yeah.
if
what-
you have the other two finishes in play.
But Steve is saying,
Oh,
what spectacle
you
are
wanna
you
do
worried
a-
about?
what-
like you can't be like taunted. Is that what you're
I
trying to say?
can't be taunted if I have
He
I have
wants-
a finish strike, finish grapple, and finish submission in play. You can't taunt or advise me.
I don't think there's any way to
No,
phrase that without it definitely being like a spotlight effect, because like the spectacles are like meant to be used before you get to do something.
That's not
Right.
necessarily true. Because look at Mike D's finisher. Mike D's finisher says, when played, discard a strike to copy its text. This card would say, when played, if you have your finished strike and grapple
Okay.
in
And then what
play,
happens
your-
if I taunt Mike D?
what happens?
What
if
happens
you
when I
taunt?
taunt Mike D? And when Mike D goes to use his finisher, what happens when I play taunt?
It goes back to his hand.
Okay. So you go to play a finish submission. I say, I'm going to use my taunt first. And then you say, no, well, I did this first. And I say, no, it's a spectacle. Mine happens first.
This is true. We
Mhm.
do not have a speed aspect to this game.
Spectacle super fast. That's all that matters.
Yeah, we don't have
Yeah,
that.
the spectacle has
It's-
like the fastest. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. So I don't know if you'd be able to prevent the spectacle on it. I think it would have to be on a different card, right? Like you're saying, when you go to play this, you could have one of these says like, if you have your grapple finish in play, your opponent cannot reel spectacles. Or instead of them all having the same three effects. Like for example, what's the order you're trying to have
Strike, grapple,
of these?
submission. Just
Yeah, so I would say
one,
like
yeah.
you do when you roll strike agility for your turn roll, you could maybe do the grapple says when this card is in play. Oh, maybe the strike would be first. Okay, so you would do the strike first. Are you gonna be getting in trouble for work at all?
I've got a little bit of time, but I think I'm getting close. So I don't want to change the strike or the grapple, but so there's no timing window.
If you're trying to do it in order, right? You could say when the strike is in play, right? If you have your grapple in play, they can't reveal a spectacle. Then you hit the grapple next. The grapple, if they break out, you keep the strike and the submission in play, and then you play the submission finisher. That is like very specifically if you're hitting strike, grapple, submission in order. That would work as you're intended, but only if you're playing them in order. That makes sense? So that's an option. But yeah, there's otherwise I would just say just scrap the idea of it shutting off a spectacle because it doesn't work according to game rule.
Well, then what if we just do your opponent can't break out? Because I have to have two other finishes in play, so it's got to be at least a little strong, right?
Yeah, what's the point of them pumping up the finishers then if it's just an auto win condition?
So that
you
I
know?
can hit them not with the other two in play and still get the bonuses.
Yeah.
So I only get the bonuses if I have all three finishes in play. If I don't have all three finishes, then I just get the bonuses on the card. So it's not a dead finish
I'll be right
if I
back.
don't have the action. Okay.
You need something next machine? All about it. Sorry, you need it. All three considered.
Okay.
I got you, boss. I got an idea. What if I have the other two in play, this card cannot be stopped by follow-ups. Does that work?
Honestly, dude, my brain is so wrapped around all this stuff. There are so many things to have to play test that I am going to be 100% honest with you. I'll put whatever you want, but I'm saving it in the playtest file. Like this is going to be something that like we're going to have to spend some time on.
Okay. So
You
yeah,
know, I don't want.
if I have the other two finishes in play, this card cannot be stopped by follow-ups. I think that's pretty fair for having to have three finishes in play. So like if you have a logo, finish, strike, and grapple in play,
I don't
this
know if
card
logo
cannot be stopped by
finish
follow-up.
makes total sense for this. Because
Well, like,
the
you
logo one,
don't want me to have
those
like
are the
a
only ones that are going to stay in play.
yeah. That's up to you.
I mean, listen, if you're going to try to do like Doomsday Lariat, flying fat,
No,
face
I'm not going to
punch
try to
and
do
play
anything.
it in
I'm
the
future
backwards order
proofing.
this way, Yeah.
I'm future proofing
Yeah.
from
I
other
don't know.
people breaking my character. I don't want a broken
Yeah.
character that I can't play. Right? I want to play it forever. I paid money for it.
I like that. If you have two,
If someone's gonna see the gimmick and try to break it, I just don't want that.
I don't
I
think
think
we're gonna
I
break
think
it.
the competitor is complex enough that there are going to be a few people that play it unless it's super broken. So I don't think you have to worry about that. I think people are going to make this
Nah.
is too confusing for me.
My brain ain't
If
playing
you have two
this.
finishes in play, this card cannot be stopped by follow-ups. I mean, that's a super strong effect, right? Basically, there's only one card in the deck that can stop them as of right now.
And I'd have to have two other so you have to not force me to discard my two other finishes. So it like I have to line up this the whole point of it is like I have to line up the stars for this to
Mhm.
be game breaking. And it's not even game breaking. Like you can still stop it with your 26.
Steve, B should not have the H in there. This card cannot be HE.
And
The
the finishes doesn't have an I after the N.
finish. Yeah, sorry, my daughter is also throwing a tantrum upstairs, as you might be hearing.
And don't we need to stay in play text to this finish too, or was it only the other two?
Just the other two to leave them in play. The idea is you get the first two in play and then you cycle the submission.
You got this pretty down pat for a new player, bro. I give you a lot of credit.
I've been playing for about a year.
Wow, that's fair.
Are you in the
I've had some
Olympics?
good mentors. Zach Ashley was my mentor. Todd Brooks, Harvey Luster.
I could definitely see Harvey in this competitor.
Hey,
I would
man.
say forget everything Todd taught you. Probably for the best.
Oh, what's wrong with Mr. Slamilton? I'm a Slamilton fan.
I love him.
He's the beacon of our community, man. He's so he's
Actually, nice
Okay,
guy.
let's
he's a
put
great
it this way. Let's peel it back a little bit. When it comes to my ideal Super Show player, listen to everything Slamilton says. He is the epitome of what it is to be an amazing player. When it comes to your deck tech strategies, maybe listen to Zach Ashley a little bit more,
okay.
which means I'd rather spend all day with Todd than Zach and just get my hand ripped apart all day long.
Right.
But Todd is literally one of the epitomes. I know we have a few of them. Ron Rumble's another guy comes to mind. Jeremy Steigerwald. Like, no disrespect to these very bright, very competitive players, but guys that like manage to hang with the competitive players and never seem to leave the fun aspect at home. All right. Now that we've traveled the cosmos,
I have fun.
Neil deGrasse Titan couldn't make this advice, could not be here. We tried to get him booked. Bill Nye the Science Guy, also unavailable. Solar plexus alignment, right?
That's correct, yeah. So boss, I just want to say thank you, everybody. I want to say thanks for helping me out and the input. The idea, I don't want it to be too broken. I
Schmidt,
just want it to
grab
be
your nutsack and say it out loud, man. You don't gotta PM me that.
It's
yeah, understood. I gotta go too.
it's a real interesting thematic competitor.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate
I
it.
love the theme. I gotta say, I do love the theme. I don't even think we'd be having this conversation if it didn't have a theme to it. I'd be like, nope, next. But I get it. It's got the
I have one final inkling question. Last question before we send this off.
astrology theme, and I think we can make it work. I really do. What's that, P? What'd
After
you
a
say?
breakout, stay on. After a breakout, stay on my.
When I was
Yeah.
breaking up, I try. We can settle it offline.
Yeah.
my strike
I mean,
right? Would my gimmick trigger or no? Because
P, I'm not talking about this character anymore. Love you, but it's just been an hour.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Message it. Discuss it with Sean.
Then you guys can play test it together.
Yeah.
I would love nothing more than
Disclaimer,
for
we
John
have
and Pulverino to play this.
we
He's
have
still talking. I
characters
don't
that
think he knows
say.
what's on.
I'm just saying, public disclaimer, we have a character that says hit a grapple, draw one, and finishes that say +2.
P, no one can hear what you're saying.
You are legitimately breaking up, John. This is
Oh,
Pulverino's become a robot, so he can always play this game
ro-
200 years down the line.
robot
Cyborg
delivery
robot.
guy.
It's gonna be the new
He
an
is the
Ikazo
We must
cyborg.
we must worship cock. We must play lariat.
Well, this is gonna be a brutal episode. All right.
Oh Jesus!
Okay. Where'd that super dope art go? Oh, that is super dope. But not the one I'm looking for.
Oh, that's nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
That
That's
is
amazing.
cool.
And this one is the event horizon.
This is the entrance.
And you guys can tell me what you want it to be. I just want it to be when I line up 3 rolls or 6 rolls, give me a decent effect that is better in longer crowd meters. I don't want it to be broken. It already looks sick. I just want it to be playable and fun.
Event Horizon is the turning point of entering a black hole, right?
Yeah, can you do the event horizon? Perfect.
Crowd meter increases. Shuffle 2 cards in twice per match.
That could work, yeah. Well, so I want it to
I
be
would-
when things line up though, not necessarily. So either when I roll 3 skills or roll 6 skills, I don't care which.
If you rolled 3 skills, shuffle 1 card from your discard pile into your deck twice a match, do you think that would be too good, unplayable? I hate like making unplayable entrance cards because some entrances are really good.
No, I think it's playable because it's
Or 3
half
times
of,
per match.
It's
Yeah, do
half
th-
of
Do 3 times per match.
whatchamacallit, half the Hollow King entrance. When your opponent passes a barrier, you shuffle 2.
Pass this. Well, this one wouldn't cost a turn, which I think is pretty valuable, right?
Yeah, that's why it's half, right? You get one shuffle instead of 2.
It would.
I don't know if 1 shuffle is playable, honestly. I don't know. Because you don't pick when it goes off, right? It's like
Yeah, but if we're doing it
is
3
like-
times a match or 2 times a match, then
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I think if you did 2 times a match, it's probably a little bit more realistic. Because like 1 time a match, shuffle back 1 when you don't choose when it happens. I feel like that's brutal. And it's going to be skill triggered, right? Not number triggered.
Yeah, that was the idea.
I mean, if we're going theme, just do yellow, blue, and purple.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna suggest.
Yeah, strike grapple sub was the original idea.
You roll strike grapple and sub twice a match. X.
Shuffle a card in.
Or if you really want it to have some playability, I might go more with what Sean was saying. When you roll yellow, purple, blue per crowd meter, so in theory you can get 5 triggers.
I'd be okay with that. I just wanted something that you have to line it up and you have to like it cycles like the planets cycle around the sun and
All right, it is going to. Let's hope we get lucky. If not, we're gonna have to do this a little bit later. strike, grapple, show me sub. Let's go.
So smart, boss. That's why he was
Right?
a real beater.
Well, that's why he was on the board for the real beaters, not on the. Listen, 3 people I would have taken above boss, and 2 of them were on the board. I said, "What the hell?"
So I having some pain issues. I don't even know how to describe it.
I heard.
Which has
Sucks,
been
man.
terrible. That's why I'm in like a literally. It's and actually it feels kind of good to be now that I got used to the standing desk for a little bit. I just want to make sure that I can play online standing, because I will show you my desk right now is pretty makeshift. I just have boxes and stuff.
It's just
stacking it
stacked
So
up.
it's like it's
Oh,
just
wow.
like kind of
I
behind
hear
it.
ya.
So
Listen,
I don't know if it will
make it
actually
work,
work.
man.
I don't know if it'll work. I think I could make it work, right? I just nothing is like
My-
sized the way it's supposed to be. All right.
Yeah. Make sure it's just not fragile like regular boxes, or get full boxes. Last thing you want is it to just all fall over.
3 times per match.
Balo would be sick 3 times per match.
Right?
After you roll, putting stuff down and get the feedback. Is 3 times too much?
I mean, if we're going with the mini redstone, I don't think 3 times. Because in theory, it's just
If it's one
One-
card, it's not
yeah, if
that
it's-
bad.
No, and you don't control the timing. So this could happen
That's
on turn
true.
3 where you don't have a discard pile.
That's
right?
true. It'd be turn 3 shuffle your deck.
I think it's playable.
Which for
I
some
would-
people it's not bad, right? Like if you're Postal Nation or whatever, you might
Postal
still
Nation,
want that.
Hurricane. What's the shuffle effects?
I think Danshi.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think this is playable. And like you said, you don't want an unplayable entrance, but you don't want a broken entrance.
Naya.
Come on.
Picture is taken via the Hubble telescope.
So glad I successfully potty trained my dog, man. Makes life so much simpler.
Oh boy,
The-
yes.
The
it
new
does.
the new puppy, I mean. The
Congrats.
not even 4-month-old.
Now if we could get Chuck to stop crapping on the floor, it would be good.
I know. His wife has gone through hell.
I mean, what can you say? Chuck likes doing business with his cats.
All right, guys, I gotta
They teach
go.
you
Do
strange
you need
things in
anything
high class.
else from me?
All right.
No.
No, we're good.
Perfect, thanks. And appreciate everything.
Man.
Hey, Sean.
You're the man, Sean. Thank you.
Later, guys.
Oh, this was an Elvis art. This looks nice as heck.
It does look really cool.
Yeah.
Combination of Harvey Luster and Zach Ashley is a
I almost
strange
feel like
concept.
I almost feel like this would be better if it was more triggers.
That's what I was saying. You can do it per crowd meter because in theory you get
No,
more.
What I meant was like longer triggers.
Oh,
make
you
it
want to give him 4?
Because like 3, you might just trigger when you don't have a discard pile, right? You can't not use it, right?
Alright, Steve, what's your favorite
That's
color?
purple.
Hi, throw an extra sub. Call it a day.
Yeah,
I
right?
think. Well, I mean, I think on the 6 might be way better. No,
But he has
Let's
2
go up,
6s.
up.
no, I mean 6 skills. Sorry.
You're saying all 6.
Yeah, that would be that would just be summoning circle except
Shuffle
shuffle
in.
one.
That's just. Isn't that worse Matterhorn then? Well, I guess technically Matterhorn's only limited to the captains.
Yeah. I mean, right now the best strips are the Beastie and the Discard 2. I actually have the Discard 2 one on my errata list. Because I think it's kind of it's twice as powerful as the Solar Shotgun with only 1 extra turn roll. Seems like a little unbalanced.
And it looks like an
Alright,
extra.
side tangent.
Yeah.
Mr. Rumble, you know what you're doing majority of your stuff coming up, correct?
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna do Rumble next,
Listen.
and then we will move on to the Starbreaker. And
All right, I'm
Yeah.
gonna do this later because I'm just filling in the effect
Yeah.
later.
Yeah, this is a more convoluted thing. We can move on to the guys that are here.
And it takes more graphic work. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean my erratas is the ship gets at least 4 to make it trigger.
Probably fair.
And then I think the teapot goes down 1. Honestly, it should be 6. You know, the shotgun
The ship
discards 1 on 3. This is 4 on 2. It's like crazy, you know. On 12, if you did 12 turn rolls for this, you would get 8 cards discarded, as opposed to 12 turn rolls for that would be 4, right? Like I feel like it's just way the math is just not math.
But I mean, solo shotgun's more. I mean, just playing devil's advocate, right? Solo shotgun has a more fine or bigger pool to play with than captains, and captains are CaptainCon exclusive. So unless you had somebody going there, that pool is a little bit limited.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think exclusivity should be like unfair to people, right? I don't think if it was roll 5 skills and your opponent discards 2, it's unplayable. It's still like the
Oh,
best
it's still
option
good.
for a discard deck. Yeah. All right. So what's up first, Trey?
No, we're going Mr.
Me,
Rumble.
I'm
Yeah.
up next.
Mr. Rumble.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't
ACCW
seen my
zone.
Bearcat. I haven't seen my Bearcat dropkick.
so we're full of surprises here. You guys just witnessed firsthand why the Grand Pack is discounted. It's just that would have been done in 6 minutes on that character. I would have made his gimmick the entrance card.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Okay. So, yeah, this is okay. All right, but this here is not a skill. This is not for my character. This is actually a finish, number 28.
Do me a favor. I got the feedback. I love crazy competitors. This character is even too crazy for me to play. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, we.
Schmidt, I'm not able to access it just drops this in the chat when you get a chance, please. Facebook Messenger is just being super slow.
Right.
EDM's right knee is excellently shaped.
Drew, why you gotta point that out, bro? Why you gotta point
Yeah.
that out?
Oh boy.
Steve, this is a
What's up?
oh,
What's up, Ron?
yeah, this is number 28 Bearcat. Oh, what are we doing first? We're doing my Kickstarter Spotlight face card.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, this art looks nice too.
The one in the chat looks sick.
All right. So what's on screen I'm seeing is my generic 28.
Generic.
Hero to all people. Rumble Ron.
Yeah. No.
It has cat and bear.
It's cat. It's
A cat uprising.
it's
Mm.
Bearcat. It's Bearcat Dropkick. Number
And
28.
Brian was hoping for an American Bearcat dropkick.
That's not happening.
The cat is bobbing the bear cat.
America has plenty of love.
Too much. Too much. Some say.
Bro, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I ripped Piglet 17 6 times a match.
Your strike finish is broken. Said no one ever after it was printed.
Thank you. Steve, do you want to know how many times I've actually won with the strike? I'm not even joking.
many?
I've only hit it once out of like the hundreds of, not hundreds, but like probably like 50 games I've played.
Yeah, but how many times had it made a difference?
No, that's what I'm saying. Once out of the 50 times I've played.
Like, would it just have been a kill anyway if it was +4? You know,
Okay, so
the Mr.
skills on this.
Rumble logo is. Is it not the first one you sent me? Oh, okay. Sorry, I misunderstood when you said new one.
This is the
I really like this art.
for the-
Which one are
for
we
those-
doing? Mr. Sunday Night Rumble or the Mr. Rumble Unleashed?
This is Mr. Rumble Unleashed right here. This is my Kickstarter Spotlight face card.
And then there's another competitor?
Mr. Sunday Night is a full competitor. Which,
And I gotta download that.
yeah, look.
Shout outs to Ange beating up Chuck with JNK.
Oh man. That's the old school.
Yes, that's the
title?
old, yes, that's the old school belt.
That is dope. Why are you not downloading? Download. Save. File. There we go. Schmidt gotta learn to save his PNGs, baby.
Ooh, look at that logo.
Yeah, that's why it's a JPEG. Do you know how to save his PNGs? Was this logo all you, Schmidt?
Yep, that's him.
Looks
Awesome.
great.
It's all me.
Looks better than the onion onion pasta you had for Mitchell.
Shut up.
Rest in peace, man.
Rest in peace, Mr. Manja.
Onion soup.
We love a little onion gavache.
The good days, the good old
Right,
days.
I know this gimmick. What was the other gimmick that you set up?
The other one for Mr. Sunday Night, it is during
Yeah.
your turn, when you hit a card with Mike in the name, you may draw one card, the very one card in hand.
Funny story. That was amazing.
Where do you want
That's
this Mr. Rumble logo?
You just want to draw
Well-
one, very one.
Well, that's for Mr.
Okay.
Sunday night.
Well, that's for Mr. Sunday Night.
Yeah, we're not there yet, but
We're not there.
We're not there yet.
I got a very one.
It's not wrong.
I was saying if you're gonna do that, you might as well
Well-
just
The
get
draw one,
Save
Barry
the
one is
draw.
not bad because you could like put the non-Mike cards on the bottom.
But I mean, you have Pride and Tartan Terror who draw.
Where
two
do you
very
want this
well.
Rumble logo?
Okay.
I feel like the art is so cool.
Wherever you think it fits.
Top left looks like it has the most space.
Yeah, probably.
But keep in mind that guide is the full art, so like it might get clipped.
Yeah.
Can't you make it a little smaller then?
Make it a little smaller.
Yeah, see, that looks good.
All right, power.
Okay, it's the same stats as the Big Shot.
All right, say no more. I'll do it from memory.
Oh, he's got it
I,
for
Yeah.
sure.
I have this too because Piglet's a big shot connoisseur.
I think I know all the original stat lines, like guys that I've made. I think I think I could tell you all their stat lines. I could be wrong though.
Same.
All right. It is considered
A steel chain match.
Chain
Mhm.
match.
Steel.
Yes, exactly. All right, how'd you
Okay.
guess?
I was gonna say I think you might consider it as a baseball bat match, but yeah, that works too.
Well, he's got the art for steel chain, Brian, so we'll have to move along.
No, there's a bat I see over there. Look at the back right, top right. There's a bat.
Where
Is
do
there a
you see
bat?
a blind man?
No, come on.
Blind man.
I'm glad Drew
Notably.
caught on. I'm glad Drew caught on.
Yeah. No, that's the main event. Brett Altart is the baseball bat.
If only.
So this is gonna get which logos?
Mr. Rumble,
Uh
Mr. Sunday Night,
huh.
Shield Maiden,
Uh huh.
Ooh.
and the fourth one I wanted to talk to you about because I have Rainbow Girl version 2, but she only has finishes for version 1, which would put this at 12 finishes, which is fewer than like Mr. Match of the Year and Zookeeper and Sheep of the Air.
And Meta.
Like 14 up there.
Yeah.
Is it us? How many do they have?
14 or 15.
Polka
Rainbow
hat.
Girl has 2 sets of finishers, doesn't she?
That's what
Was the
okay.
super-
Listen to me. I did this. I looked at this just this morning.
Mm.
Okay, Rainbow Girl has 6 finishes, and my Mr. Rumble, Mr. Sunday Night, and Rainbow Girl, those are 3 finishes each. So that's 15. Zookeeper has like 14 or 15. Mr. Match of the Year has.
Yeah, but
like
he
they all
died.
have.
That's not a
Huh?
fair trade-off. You're living and breathing,
Okay.
man. I said you're living and breathing, man. It's not a
How
fair
about
trade-off,
How about Sheep of the Era?
I'm just kidding, Ron. I'm just kidding.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I'm just
yeah.
kidding.
Plus, I
That was a
don't.
joke.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't think it's an issue. I really don't. Initially, I don't see any problem unless there's some really bizarre synergy. I
What
do
if-
believe
Putting Rainbow Girl's
the
logo on this?
Is Mr. Rumble's daughter?
other is
Rainbow
meaning the Sheep of
Girls,
the Era
me
and
too.
the
Yeah.
logos,
Yeah.
right? Or does it shock A? I don't know. No, that's what I'm saying. Does Jock A only have like Chris Pagillo likenesses? For lack of a better term.
Jacques. I can-
I also have a weird question. Is this the original Mr. Rumble logo? I think that you don't even have to put
Yeah,
Mr.
that's
Rumble's
the
logo
so
on it.
what that is that's Mr. Rumble original logo, and I just added the Unleashed on the bottom. That's all it is.
Yep.
So I think that would allow him to play Mr. Rumble finishers anyway.
If you're going the way you're going with the Cardona stuff, then yeah. Or with Jordan Oliver was the one I was thinking. Not Cardona.
Yeah, Jacques doesn't have any other logos.
No, Mr. Match of the Year. Who's that?
Bombada's
It's
in the
Bombada.
That's Bombada. Chris, you're in chat.
Okay.
What is
He
that?
said he
Match
had
of the Year has
11
11.
finishes.
All right. Sheep of the Era, who also has Candyman Dan.
Oh,
logo on
yeah,
it.
that's hilarious.
Hilarious.
The
Forgot
memes.
about that. The meme.
I found a few of the Sheeples Champion finish cards. I mean, tag team cards, and I wanted to be like, on sale now, the LFF World Champion. Well, what it was,
Not anymore.
the him and Polka.
Match of the year has Bombada, Jacques, Shaggy Shark, and the Tornado that doesn't have finishes.
Which is
Yeah.
an interesting
How are you?
notion.
Shaggy Shark.
Shaggy.
Nice. Yeah, we got to get around to that.
What new finishes for what the finish? Which Tornado is that, Bombada?
Backstretch.
Backstretch, I believe.
Oh,
Which,
the bad
which
one.
is funny because we count all these finishes for match of the year, but the only finish that really matters for him is Handshake of Doom.
Yes.
Rambo Apocalypse, huge Rainbow Girl guy.
Speaking of which, I got a text.
So when I
I'm
got
unaware.
back from my,
Yeah, you
my
gotta give
short
me some-
visit to the doctor, I looked at the original challenge and I saw that Will was number 1 seat, and I didn't realize you guys made a separate challenge for whatever reason.
Oh,
So
for
I
the
thought
top
Will won the
cut.
For top cut.
CAC. Yeah. And I was like, no friggin' way.
He lost to
And I was right.
the demon Chuck playing Raw Raw Perry in Top Cut.
Boo, Chuck, boo.
Trey handled that for us.
Yeah, Rara Perry definitely just an issue. I was
Good.
telling people that like I think I won 2 events with Scrappers, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, Scrappers is like a fraction of Rara Perry in like random times. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like they lose one of their stops. Like
Rambo. Why
if
are
they
we
happen to be
talking
playing
about
those
Rara?
things. And the last one was Shield Maiden, right?
Yeah,
Correct.
Shield Maiden. Let me check our DMs, Ron. See if I have that in there. Give me a second. Hold on, Steve. I may have it. Or you go through.
Rambo.
have it.
I was talking about how great you did with Rainbow Girl, and that you lost to the demon
Oh.
Rara.
The new alt art Rambo girl. Oh
Ram-
my god.
This could cause several issues.
No, it's just Sabrina. Rainbow girl.
Oh,
Oh, I thought it was
Girl.
just Rambo on the weekends.
That's what I thought.
Bro. That'd be
College
hilarious.
Boy Todd.
Rambo girl.
Or go. That's funny.
Don't you crash on me, computer.
Guess what, Steve?
Huh. What's up?
Already got it. In the chat.
Where's P? He's been awfully quiet. Is he just lurking?
I'm here.
He's not a
I'm
robot
here
anymore.
clearly my-
Yay!
but there are parts of my route that are clearly not good when it comes to service.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not, and between the service issues and my head literally boiling from the first competitor we did,
It's all-
my mood instantly swung. So
It's all right, brother. We steel chain Big Shot now. We fine.
This easy. This one
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, this is easy.
really not happy with it.
We
But
steal chain. So, Mr. Sunday Night, Rumble Unleashed, Mr. Rumble, Rainbow Girl, Shield Maiden. We're good, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's go.
What does
That's
Steve
it.
say? Book it, ship it, lock it, next.
Yeah. Well, that's a breath of fresh air after.
what I was gonna say to you, Steve, is on the topic of the errata list, with Candyman Dan losing the world title and freeing up Fox Assassin, we could potentially look into making that happen sooner rather than later now.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, it's definitely gonna have. So the plan was if Ikazo ever comes to light, which it may or may not, it's kind of ready on the drive. To do a reprint of the original versions of all the characters
Thank
with
you,
the
Jesus.
Jason Carty art, and then an alternate gimmick for all of them. In most cases, they were like kind of similar. So like one of them, like for Eva Firecat, you could do like the same gimmick, but instead of when you roll strike, it's when you roll 10. So you can kind of like pick and choose which version you wanted. And then Fox Assassin. Listen, these have been on my computer for a very long time. And those people who join late night,
I was gonna say I like
Yeah.
that
They
new
know
Fox
that.
Assassin gimmick.
The new Fox Assassin gimmick I think is amazing. But the old one 3 times per match, and I think that that's definitely the right call. It makes it optional, so it will never backfire on yourself, which, like as history has proven, hasn't been that much of a detriment. And then the
No,
other one
sometimes
that
it's a detriment, but yes.
I was working with was when you roll your I mean, it is a detriment, but it doesn't offset the fact that like you're still picking up your stop enemies on repeat once you're set up. You know, is it annoying when you throw a freaking flip the bird turn one and you have to bounce it back to your hand and play it again? Yeah, but also like that
I think
did
it
not
also helped
offset.
Simon in the title match that he kept bouncing back to 23 and Simon kept drawing off of it.
No, the instance I had was I was playing against Piglet. I bounced back his skill strength and numbers 3 times in a row.
When I was playing against Matt Haas, we had the tournament. I got him real quick in the final round, and then we had to play again. And it was an hour. It was like our smallest locals we've ever had, and it ended the latest because he was playing Fox Assassin. And then P got tagged in to play him in the finals. And I was like, P, man, you're going to see that it's really good once it gets rolling.
So the store
And
closes
then
at 11.
I actually left. Yeah.
Yeah. The store closes at 11. It's 11:05. The finisher just hit and broke out. So the store owner goes, "Hey, are you guys almost done?" And Matt Haas goes, "Yes, over soon." And then passes and buries to 27. And then I'm like, okay, I can understand doing that once. Sure. He gets the next turn, he passes and buries 21. I'm like, Paul, the owner, I'm like, Paul, we're draw. It's a draw. We're not doing this. Right. It's not over. This guy's ready to go another hour when the store closed 5 minutes ago.
I remember I was like, how'd it go, P? And he was like yelling into the phone. 15 times he stopped my finish sub. 15 times.
It was actually remarkable.
I mean, listen, it takes setup, right? You know, you got to beat the character quick. But once they get to a point where the defense is up, it's like, and you have 3 stops for all their finishers, the math is like they have to win 7 turn rolls before you roll a technique 1 time. And it just doesn't matter, you know, if the math is working right, they just not punching through ever, you know. Ron, do you have the finishers for the other character?
Yes.
Okay, we'll do the Bearcat drop kick.
Yeah, let's do this one right now. This is just what is it? The Frog Splash for strike?
Oh, dope.
Yeah.
Is it or was it
Oh.
Papa Press Slam?
Oh, Popa Press Slam.
Popa Press. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Popa Press
Yeah.
Slam for strike.
I was about to
That's
say
what
that's already
Do we have a Popa Press Slam agility?
No.
Yes, right?
Yes,
That's
we
the
do.
lightning
Yeah.
Oh, we
hydra?
do. Yeah.
yeah. The moves
What are
on
we
like,
missing now? We're just missing.
You're missing
Grapple,
sub
sub.
and grapple. Yeah.
I will happily work you out a very lovely deal if somebody wants those. I like completing sets. It's great.
Oh, baby.
I want to do figure 8 leg lock for sub. I just hadn't gotten around to purchasing yet.
If I had
Why
grapple
does it
10
sink in
competitors,
when
I'd
you
use
drop?
it too. I have no grapple.
We can talk offline.
Ugh.
You have people in the chat that are also interested in those.
Bombada
so-
says he'll do the grapple for a deal.
PM me.
DM him.
All right, we're gonna go do this the old-fashioned way because this is not cooperating. Bearcat, is that one word?
Yes.
Cat dog. Cat dog.
Dang old Coleman High School having to deal with Bearcats again.
Oh, this gives Okada some cool stuff, right?
Oh, it's
All
a
the
drop
time.
kick. Yeah.
Yeah, but he says leave the
Rolls of
follow-up on his
dimes.
gimmick.
This is
Does he?
this is that
Yeah,
the
leader
image.
follow-up.
Okay, sorry. The image is an homage to Bearcat Wright. So he was a wrestler that was popular in the 60s.
Nice. Where did he wrestle out of?
I don't know I don't remember off the top of my head. But you can imagine being an African American and wrestling, in the 50s and 60s came with some challenges.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's a crazy world. I follow a lot of the independent wrestling groups, and it's like, I forget the term offhand, so just forgive my ignorance. But like, is it like a sundown town, or like even to this day, they like
Yes,
post
sundown,
notification for like
Yeah.
what towns
Yep.
your race is going to be an issue, and that's in 2025. I can't even believe we're in 2025. It's like feels weird to say, thinking about going back that so far. It would have to be infinitely worse,
Yeah. Shoot, man, my parents never even talked about that stuff. Because I'm of an age where my parents lived during Jim Crow. Like,
How old are you?
I'm 51.
Jesus.
I'm serious. I'm
You look good
51.
for a
Mr.
51
Rumble, I
year old.
honestly thought you were like late 30s, like me.
Good job, man. You look good for 50.
Hey, he said it last time. Maybe let's get the line right.
Black don't crack, baby.
I didn't want to say it.
Oh,
I didn't want to say
Wait, that was was I talk? Oh yeah, I did say that. That's I also said something else about my referring to my right, but
Yeah,
I'm not gonna.
we don't have to bring that up.
So I don't know if you said this, but I was gonna say is that it's all that Asian food you've been eating, But that's a little.
No,
I don't know if that one rubs off. That's a secret.
I believe me.
He pleads the fifth.
Okay, so obviously this is +1. Oh, you're doing the image.
Did I get that right? Draw one card. You finish roll 6 or less is +2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
except it's +1 is
Yeah,
strike.
I'm so happy this card got love because when I was making it, I was like, this doesn't seem that good. And then it's like, when you actually break it down and think about it, dude,
So that's what I'm
+5
with
is
CSC.
just a real good card,
The one
It's
with
plus
CAC.
five
what he won the
bonuses.
CAC with. I played it in Olympics on Mimic a ton and in Underworld matches. Yeah,
Yeah, I
good line.
actually came
World champion
I came-
Yaz.
I came
Mhm.
just short of a CAC, courtesy of Robert the Brain Dunn, and the
Oh,
misplay of all misplays.
Kirk says, "Oh, I love it." Kirk says he'll do the Stephanie McCurr finish sub for that deal for the sub finish for the sub, and y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Of course, you guys are gonna miss out. They're trying to wheel and deal here.
No, Horse wants to grapple. Polk
Horse wants
to
the
sub.
grapple. Yeah.
Ron wants to sub either.
Well, if somebody else wants it, they can have it. Just
Polk could do
Kirk
it.
just calls it the shucky ducky quack quack. Of course, he would call it like the sheepy beat blat blat or what.
that's what's going to happen.
Bleat, bleat.
It's gonna have sheep. in it.
Baba.
Give sheepy
Ba,
baba.
sheepy baba.
Kirk, do it. Do it. Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Sheepy beep beep.
What's this card with the strike skill card? Ranging Roundhouse?
Yeah,
Raging Roundhouse.
Roundhouse has a strike
Love that.
strike logo on it.
Yeah, that's the strike. Yeah.
Raging Roundhouse is really good too.
It's in my big
Very-
deck.
It's
Very
one less
underrated.
bonus, but you have the cheeky setup, right? So it's like if you're gonna play the +1,
Kirk
you
is
might go
asking
Raging
where he wants it.
Roundhouse.
Where's the link? Is it just create a card or?
I didn't do a price yet. I mean, I don't know what a creative card is listed at, but I said that I was willing to work, pretty
So just
more
imagine
affordable alternative than whatever it is.
If we get the sheepy baba, yeah, I will put it in. That will be an immediate buy.
Dude, is it actually gonna be called Sheepy Baba? Because as much as I hate dumb names, that is hilarious.
I think Kirk, that should be what it is. I that's what it should
And pick it up with sheep by uprising. My
Yep.
God.
Yep.
Overeno's been asking for gathering the seals.
Gathering the seals. Long overdue.
I think that's fine since you have gathering the sheep.
Yeah.
Sean Carter would love that.
Absolutely.
Can we get some mops?
Nah. I tried to vote for the mop weapon line, man. The public wasn't for it.
You have the OG mops, which would be Griffin, Mad Custodian. You have
Yep.
the new era mops, the mop boys.
The Mutt Boys is a thing?
Yes, we are just training in the hyperbolic time chamber.
They've been in the
Hope so.
the hyperbolic time chamber for the last like year and a half. So for a year and a half, it's almost been like 40 years for them. So
They played Faction Wars.
No, we played Faction Wars. We just got knocked out early.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you
And
both
Brian-
have something
Brian-
to do with it.
Brian Lee signed up for the Olympics, but one person did not.
Who?
Well,
They good.
Piglet's job also is like, hey, can you work in 30 minutes? He's like, sure.
Well,
Listen,
the
Piglet had a
last time
bad
Piglet asked
experience
to,
last year.
But if I want to play, I was like, sure. 10 minutes ago, he's like, yep, I got called into work, can't play.
That is true. I've witnessed that firsthand too. You know?
Piglet last year in the Olympics had to deal with a captain who wouldn't respond, a 5th round pick who got electrocuted and tried to
Finish
play in the hospital.
Chart
Names.
in your chat.
Say names.
I'll look. Hold on. You sending it to me?
Steve?
For Mr. Sunday Night,
Yeah.
let me grab that now and let's see here. Grapple.
Ooh, Blood Bowl FAQ. Nice.
There's a strike. Where is it?
Oh god.
Here.
Oh,
there's
that's
the
great.
Strike. And then the submission.
Yeah, it does need to be +1 to strike instead of agility still
Yeah,
on the drop
Steve.
kick.
Oh,
That's
you
right.
know what's so funny? I changed it too from power.
Yeah, you changed the logo. You changed the
Yeah, it was
requirement. Just
power.
every-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I copied and pasted Boba Fett.
Oh,
That's yeah. Okay.
It's a submission.
Kirk, make sheepy baba, please, for the love of God.
Press slam. Or is it just like your brain is just so used to it being in Super Show colors?
Yeah.
Steve loves this line so much that I got
love
3 Carter clutches in one order.
it.
I said I would. Give me the link. Oh my god, I don't have the link.
Oh,
Polka.
yeah, I'm working on it. He wants Val, right?
You want Val, Kirk?
Just do a custom order with whatever price you
Yeah.
and Steve work up. Very simple.
Open messenger.
All right, we have 51 minutes to get 2 competitors done. Can we do it? Yes, we can.
Call back Sean.
No.
No.
Love the guy.
I
No.
mean, Sean, great dude, but that was brutal.
I blame Harvey Luster.
There.
Look at that. After you hit a strike,
Mhm.
grapple, and submission, and have all 3 move types in play.
Just had some Vietnam flashbacks.
I think this should even be or.
Steve, I'm getting PTSD right now. Can we just move forward, please? Please. Please.
Yeah, I was like, this
Steve,
might
This
be
is like
fine.
this is wall text, Steve. This is wall text type of stuff.
Well, what I was saying before I went to robotic, I said public service announcement. We have gimmicks that say when you hit a grapple, draw 1, and finishers that just say +2/+2, no text. So
And
keep
what
that
should-
in mind, folks.
All right,
The point
Steve.
is
I dropped
keep it simple, stupid.
the art in the Zoom chat for the face card and the finishers.
Ooh.
Thank you, brother. It's just taking a very long time for me to load. I don't know if it's because there's 90 people in
Yeah.
here.
I don't think 90 of us
Then-
would. Oh dang. Ron, you know what the funny thing is when you suggested the Mr. Sunday Night gimmick, it's very similar to VHS's gimmick. I think we talked about very similar.
Yeah.
I don't think you need the berry one
Well-
if you do just.
I
berry
don't think he
return.
does either.
Yeah. Okay. So we were so Steve threw that out, and so like that's what I've been working around. But I'm certainly open to variations on it. Like,
Like if you did
it could
any
be draw two,
time,
like, huh?
like if you did
Yeah,
any time, I would say draw one, bury one, sure, it stops. But if it's only during your turn, I think you can just draw a card. That's
Oh,
not
it's
right.
only during your turn? Then
Yeah,
yeah,
draw
no,
one
draw
card.
one's
Draw
fine.
one's fine. You hit a mic, draw a card.
Yeah, because like if it was triggering off like Cosmic Smash and Cosmic Collection, Cosmic Me and the ropes, like that's different.
no, it is.
Oh.
No, it is.
Oh, I
I
thought-
forgot about
MIC.
Cosmic.
Am I?
Oh, I thought you said,
Cosmic.
but it's well, but you said during your turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you play your 1 and 4 or 15
I don't even know if you
aggressively,
need to
you got
during your
me.
turn if it's
I completely forgot about Cosmics. Okay.
I
That
haven't.
makes-
You haven't played against Ant enough.
Yep.
I was about to say Paul Morella. He's a big fan of the Irish and the Mick cards.
question for the room. And I
Okay.
don't want you guys to analyze this. I want you to go by just pure instinct.
Okay.
Optically, what do you think holds more weight? Performing well at locals or performing well online?
It's two
More
different
weight.
things.
Depending on numbers would be my qualifier.
Thank you.
Yep. I agree.
Because a 4-person locals or a 6-person locals would less weight than a 12-person online, but a 20-person ACCW locals would be better than the 10-person tournaments online.
If both of them had 8 to 16 people,
It would
Personally,
have to
I-
be online, right? I mean,
Relative
really
to online because you
8
have
to
a bigger
16,
variety of people.
8
Slightly, but not like a huge thing.
Like I'll give you the example that Steve's doing. Like comparing like a rip and ship local, say we got 12 people, to a online local that also has 12 people. Like, wouldn't you say it really depends on who is there?
Like,
yeah,
I mean,
so
but I
that's
said
why
we're
it's
not
hard
going
to
to
do.
psychoanalyze this, right? I was just saying in
Right.
general, if it's just like there was a 12-person locals and a 12-person online event, somebody won the locals, somebody won the online event. To me, just for whatever reason, it just feels like the online event was like more important. That's not saying it's true. I'm just saying like that's my
There's just
before I
a
even
bigger
knew
pool
who
of
was in
players
it,
that
what
could
the
play in the
sticks
online
were.
one
Yeah.
that can
Yeah.
play the
Yeah.
locals one.
Bigger
Yeah.
variety. Whichever one John Polverino is not at, I weight higher.
That's the problem. Like, I don't want to have the thing where it's like we're starting to waste something higher than the other, and force my hand to be like, fine, I'm not going to go hang out with my friends and get out of the house. I'm going to sit here and play online instead because of weight. I feel like it really should just come down to attendance.
I was gonna
and
say if
who
it's
is
the same numbers, I
Yeah,
don't
of
know why
course.
it
If
has
you're
to
gonna
be
break it
changed
down,
like
you could
any
obviously
different.
do it. It was just like it was just like I feel like a fleeting conversation where I just had mentioned where like not saying I agree with it. I just feel like optically people put more weight on, the online event for whatever reason. When you hit a card with Mike in the name, draw one
Well, it's probably just
card.
because the online is more seen though as well, because you see those
Yeah.
posts each week where
You see the post, there's a wider
you don't see
community
the
that-
locals post every week.
I mean, I have no problem making a post after every Monday. If you guys
That's because Schmidt does a great job
Much.
publicizing the
You hit
results.
a
Okay,
card with Mike.
Mike in the
I
name.
mean,
You
Jeremy does all the unless that was sarcasm.
I mean,
No,
look,
No, I'm just saying, like, I don't see the other groups
I don't see
locals
this
nearly as much. I see
needing. I don't see this
ACCWs.
needing it during your turn. Am I
Okay.
crazy with that?
No, you're
I mean,
not.
If it's draw one, bury one, then you can
You can have it on any
absolutely,
turn, yeah.
keep the
Yeah.
Um,
have
it
their
should
space.
Ron, do you have the competitor card for this one?
It's in-
dropped in the chat.
dropped in
It should
chat.
say and also
duh,
for the
sorry.
gimmick, it should be you may draw one card.
Oh, gotcha. Yes.
So I don't know if Ron Rumble's against it. What's the difference between this Tartan Terror and Pride?
Draw two, bury
That's
one.
a
Yeah.
that's a
pride is discarding. So that's directly thinning two cards. So I would say that is a big difference between the three.
Pride
Pride's
doesn't have stops.
pitching. Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
And
I say
and
I
my
Pride
said
is
sense-
Pride's
stops.
pitching the spotlights to pick back up, so it's not.
Because
Tartan
Tartan Terror
and
is the same
also
thing.
I don't remember what Tartan Terror's finishes look like, but like I'm getting
They're
They're not great.
okay. Yeah. So I'm getting big shots finishes
Yeah.
Because so
You tell me the name of that Tartan Terror finish strike and tell me it's not good.
No, read the text while drunk. That's the Terror challenge.
Just
Told Calais we were going to do
pass
that
him
next
a
time we
scoop
hung
slam,
out.
man.
oh, okay. And the stat line on this is different, but I'll let you fix that up
Oh,
first.
we got a different one?
Yes.
Cool art by Elvis.
Yeah. Elvis does right by me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I cannot imagine like anybody but Elvis drawing you. I think he's just done incredible.
I love this art too. But I do love the
All
other
right,
one that kind of has that like Biggie Smalls vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
that was the intent. Well, actually, he knocked it out of the park. It was beyond what I expected. All right, so Power 10.
ACCW.
You have ACCW.
Yeah, Technique 6, Agility 5, Strike 9.
Oh, it's not a clause.
Submission 8, Grapple 7.
This is what Big Shot would have been really dope if this was his stat line.
Kank says grapple 9. He changed the game with no grapple 9. And he doesn't have the 8+ either. Wow. Oh, I understand why. Never mind.
Why?
I wanted
15.
I want I
make it 15.
want a live 15. I want a live 15, and it makes 7 seals better with a Power 10. So except in
Unless you face
ACCW,
Titan.
unless
Shut my ears
unless
off.
I face Titan,
Shut my ears
unless
off
I
for
play
this
in
segment.
ACCW, where everybody plays a Power 10 competitor. I don't know.
Is it really bees like that out there?
Yeah, so much power.
There is.
You will see
It's-
a lot of giant modes at ACCW.
That's why it's God giant mode garbage. Giant mode, my favorite entrance I see across from me, man. I know I'm gonna get all my stops back. I love to see it.
Hey Steve, let's do the submission finish first.
Should I put my seatbelt on for this one? Those are usually like some alarming.
No,
42 minutes, folks.
No, the submission finish. I already know what numbers and everything I want on it.
And came prepared, folks.
I got you, Mr. Rumble. +3 to the 6, +4 to the 5. Your opponent picks up a card from the discard pile to their hand.
Mr. Rumble, what was the original weapon? It was this
I'm sorry.
staff, right?
Yeah, I had a cane. Yep.
You were choking with the staff in one of the other arts.
Yeah,
right?
I was chosen with the cane. Yeah, and I since I have the mic gimmick, I wanted to change to a microphone stand. So
Does anybody know if Simon Dabner, our current world champ, is a fan of Kane?
He is. I've been talking to him. I know. Yeah. He is.
Like
I
the
felt like
wrestler?
his character design. Yeah, the character design. I felt like could be an old school Kane. So,
okay, so
all right, what's the name of this one?
this is Big Daddy Microphone Choke.
Usually pay extra for that kind of action.
Looks like Keenan might be interested in this one.
Grove.
Do we have to say,
He
oh,
likes the finishes
daddy?
with daddy in them.
Yeah.
Ron, did we do that chair shot part?
Yep.
We did, right? I'm not crazy. It's just
Yeah, he did the chair shot.
printed.
Yeah.
All right, what does this one do?
Let's see here. +4 to tech, +2 to sub. Does that sound familiar?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like
that's it.
Nice
Easy.
and simple. I like
Nice
it.
and simple. Love it.
That's That's a big shot sub finish. And speaking of which, I want the Mr. Rumble logo on this one.
Can you guys drop me that one?
Yep. Give me a moment, please, and thank you. It will be a JPEG though.
Oh, screw it. Hold on. was
I
waiting
have-
for the
I have
Mr. Rumble.
Photoshop
Well,
open.
actually, no, because the Mr. Saturday Night has it.
Give me a minute. I have my Photoshop open. It will take me 2 seconds to do what you do.
All right. Grapple.
Grapple. My note says I just want a high turn roll trigger follow up finish. Like if my turn roll is 11 or
Okay, put that under the
whatever you
creative
think is
card.
fair. And then
Oh,
a bonus.
man.
And then a bonus. And then a bonus. And then
Right now is a hard time to ask me to cook because I have to be cooking.
Hey man, I didn't know.
What's the name of it?
This one is the NOLA Nightmare Slam. No, it's all capital letters. NOLA, NOLA, as in New Orleans, Louisiana.
You didn't know this was up? Because if that's the case,
I
could
didn't
put
know
it on the
that you were
side.
gonna have that. Oh,
What's it
the
called?
name is NOLA Nightmare Slam.
New Orleans Nightmare Slam?
NOLA, NOLA, one word, NOLA.
NOLA. Cottontails, not ducktails.
Nightmare Slam.
Paying homage to the Nightmare
Uh,
King. I dig it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no. Oh,
What do the microphones do? Microphones give you.
Reveal one. If you reveal a microphone, +1 your next turn roll.
So he's trying to play off of that. to get a
In the
plus
chat, Steve.
one.
As a PNG, not a JPEG.
why, thanks, man.
I know. You know, I tried.
I
to
have
do
an
my best
idea.
here.
I don't know if it's a good one.
Where's the budget? The budget's out the door.
Oh, there's no budget right now. That's
Yeah,
for
there's no
damn sure.
budget. Can't pass. There's been never
Straight-
been a budget.
You're the highest. You're the highest paid employee of the month of June.
You mean May?
That's scary.
No, it
No, he
definitely
means June.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
well, shit.
No little Nightmare Slam.
Oh, let me turn on the chat so they can see everything that's going on.
I figured give me the Abominable Big Shot gimmick once.
Why
I think
not?
that would be kind of cool. What do you think?
I'm good with that.
Oh no. The wording is definitely jacked up, but we should fix it. This thing is cockeyed, right? Or did it fix itself?
That art is where that's the way the art is. Steve.
Yeah, I think that's just how the art is. I
That's
don't think
just how the
the
art
art
is.
itself is cocked.
Yeah, it's the like an
It's
illusion.
the art. It's the art. It's
Yeah,
not.
it's the art.
It's not you. It's the art.
You may reveal this card in your hand and bury it along with 2 other cards from your hand.
Yeah, that's the King Pink spotlight, right?
Stop. I guess so. Is that what King Pinks does?
Yeah, you bury it with 2 other cards and you stop a strike.
Yeah, I just wanted to give him it because he's kind of like Big Shot themed. That's Abominable Big Shot.
Yep.
Yeah, the king pink is discard and bury too, but yeah.
Oh, just
What's the
started.
bonuses on your other grapple?
It's +1 to power, +2 to grapple.
Oh, same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing. And plus my power on this one is a 10, so it'll be an overkill.
Yeah.
Something you'd want to consider, Steve.
You know,
What?
The King's Ping finisher says discard it and bury 2 cards, and to stop the card.
Yeah. Should it be discard? I don't know.
I mean, maybe just in case, like if you're decked out, you're not like infinite looping, almost like a stop.
Isn't that kind of what Big Abominable does, or no?
Well, Abominable is very 3, yes, but I'm just saying if this finisher is mirroring pretty much what King Pink already has, I would say the same thing. I mean, you can do bury.
Yeah, I was more trying to mirror the Abominable Big Shot. I don't know if it should be random berry.
No, I think you should just choose.
No. Yeah, I don't think random bury is necessary.
I think that would just hurt him more.
Well, no, he means random.
I mean, he has a 10
Very
power
bottom.
anyway. It's not like it's his weak protected thing, you know?
Yeah, but ACCW wouldn't have to feel this power 10.
That's so funny.
And then you have Titan who's
It gives
power
him the-
11.
There's a remote control car going on upstairs.
I got you, Mr. Rumble. I play at the same locals you do. I know what the power is like.
Yeah, he's got grapple 7, so he can be live against.
You know how
Titan.
much? Do you know how live my my power 9 on JK is? Never.
Look, I went to ACCW and they were not running stops on Power 8 because it's always dead.
That's what Harry does in Fire Flash.
Yes.
Because it's not live.
What does he play?
Random card,
No, it's the Wolf and
Pick-
Sheep's
Wolf plus
Holdings.
Wolf.
Sheep's
Yeah,
Holdings.
yeah.
Really?
Schmidt, you need to come down to ACCW locals. I know it's a far drive / flight. Just come out one time.
You gonna hire a babysitter for me?
I could maybe talk to. We could do a Kickstarter.
Just
Get a
stay
baby.
going out for milk.
Yeah, okay. My dad did that to me. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oof.
Move along.
Don't forget the stop sign. This one, Steve.
Is it a stop?
It's not a stop. It's a.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just.
it's not. A
Yeah,
stop.
it's just.
Man, blind man, crazy.
What we say
It's all
about
Yeah,
that?
Lapang, we getting this Pokemon Go reps in.
Double tapping.
Pack my order, Penguin. I miss you doing it.
Yeah.
30
Is that a
minutes.
good thing or a
Please
bad
do
thing?
it.
Okay.
Oh man, 30 minutes. We could do this. I mean, Trey's is a bomb too. He threw me some curve. Listen, I'll let you cook. How about you scrap your idea and here's 3 of mine. That's how
Yeah,
our
I-
conversation went yesterday.
Me and Brian have been talking for a minute.
More like 2 hours.
My understanding was that Steve said he's not cooking no more.
Yeah.
I said, uh-oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what I told Trey last night.
Oh, I
Steve
mean,
will-
it's like some people are like, you just do whatever you want, you know? And it's like, all right, give me like something to go off of. Like,
I mean, we have.
Trey gave me
we
good
can-
stuff.
competitors
He
he
wanted
loves to play.
anti-hand destruction.
We can talk about that after Mr. Rumble, though. I
Yep.
want to make sure he's happy with his product.
Well, he wants Cyclone, but also discard.
Yeah, you want to cyclone, but also discard.
We had both.
His original one, he wanted Cyclone with Shuffle at the bottom, which is the same difference, right? But
Just like,
It is the same.
I mean, I think Cyclone is
Broken. Yes.
one of the best things ever printed ever. I've said that like for a very long time. I don't know how. I found it quite laughable when Hold the Line Harry's thought that like new Cyclone, I mean, old Cyclone was not considered top tier.
Yeah.
It's 30 years.
Same with Leader of Postal Nation.
Not only is it 30 triggers. What?
Leader of Postal
it's
Nation.
Oh,
Does Postal Nation have 30 triggers now?
I do not.
only if
because
you
I
play
don't-
stops offensively.
Yeah.
I don't have. Yeah, I don't have stops that trigger it. so it's not 30 triggers.
Well, not
Thank you very
optimized
much.
stops. Yeah.
Yeah, but on top of that, it's protected from hand destruction and has a finisher that says I come back every turn. Every time I hit a card, not even every turn.
I will say
so
that we
very
have
good.
not
Very high
mentioned
bar.
discard at all. It's just bury for Trey, but
Yeah,
we'll talk about that in a second.
love Postal Nation. Played against Young Allergies Postal Nation. I kicked out of an 11 because I was Mimic. Thanks for that plus to tech there, Johnny P.
All right, so Mr. Rumble, you want to lights out, don't you, for the strike?
He's got a lights out kind of, doesn't he? Oh no,
I
this
do,
is a
I do
draw.
not.
No.
He
No,
does
mine
not.
mine is a lariat. Mine is a lariat.
Yeah, his original strike is a lariat.
So now we're giving him a lights out.
Give him a lights out, baby.
Also, Steve, I just want to point out, Matt loves Big Shot.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Big Shot's a character that he
Oh,
gets a lot of love by us. P
Thank you.
busts him out once in a while. The Google Docs Dan likes him. You know, I use him in the Underworld event at Grand Gathering. I had a 5-1 showing. That was pretty
yes,
impressive.
press slam into lights out is.
No, we don't even do that. But I'm just, me and people have had most success on tags with Big Shot Snake Pit. We just hit them with the big ones.
Sometimes that's all it needs, baby.
Still missing the original big shot strike finish. Original.
Ooh, this looks nice.
All right, what do we got on this thing? This thing
the
does
name-
look so cool.
It's the readiest moonsault ever.
That's mad funny.
I told you the story behind this, right?
No.
Okay, so Mr. Trey Cantrell is here. So there was a triad title match with me, chiropractor, versus champion Trey Cantrell. And I
The greatest triad champion ever.
hit Paul with the moonsault and got us 25, 26, and 27.
The nuts. The nuts.
And then
That is amazing. The worst has
Chris
happened to
doing
me 2 times. It happened to me in the Cookies Fortune, but it actually happened to me in the exact same thing where I had like a huge nut of a hand, right? And 7 seals included, and Brock Smith plays, and he's playing numero uno with the override, and he plays Moonsault, and he just goes 20, 26, 14 in my hand of 10 cards. All 3 stop any submission.
oh my goodness.
Oh,
It's like, what? I was like, oh god, are you kidding me?
I was gonna say the
somehow
thing
won
is,
that
I hit
match.
the finish the next turn as well, and then
Yeah.
rolled like
Uh-huh.
a 7 or an 8, and I couldn't tag the breakdown.
Yeah.
oh, you mean like
Yeah.
last night?
Yes.
I had to win that match
Ready.
twice.
Yeah.
So
And in the chat, I just assumed you hit the finisher on the other person. And then I was like, who do you hit the finisher on? And then after, everything kind of blew up. What do we do with this thing? Do you have anything in mind?
Some hand destruction.
lights
Why don't
out.
we do
Or
Moonsault?
whatever.
Yeah, do moonsault.
Okay.
Is it the
That'll make
readiest
things nice
moonsault
and
ever,
easy.
or is it readiest moonsault ever? Mr.
It's the readiest moonsault ever.
Okay, just double
Does
check.
your lights out have the same? What's the bonuses on it? Because I don't know.
It's the +1 to my 9, +4 to my 5.
Oh, annoying.
You could boost the bottom.
I'm cool with whatever. Like, you know.
We're getting ganked by baby.
That's Leia. She's pointing at my my mat and counting the numbers.
Top rope moonsault, flip 6, shuffle 3. You don't want that. Springboard moonsault, shuffle back 2 grapples. Or you just want regular moonsault.
Or
So it's all on the chiropractor.
I will mute.
I'm going to point out that while this is taking about an hour, I also had a separate competitor and a separate finish card in addition to a full competitor in this time.
Wow, and we have 24 minutes to do Trey.
Oh, well, I had a flip competitor. If we could just try and fit that in.
He actually told me beforehand that he wanted to do something. But again, I like Reddit, and for some reason, it just my brain didn't like process the complexity of it.
I don't
Whereas,
think
like,
any of
sure,
our
we'll
brains
work on
process
that.
the complexity of it.
Yeah, it's hard when somebody's so excited about it. It's like he doesn't have bad intentions, right? Like, he
No.
just
clearly.
wants his character like on
But then
TV.
you have Paul Reno over here going boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Hey man, those perspectives are important to have.
Listen, and I've said it before on the show, and I'm going to reiterate it, that if you're coming here and looking to reinvent the wheel, like, the character is going to get much more scrutinized, right? It's just like, I'm not
Yeah.
going to put out something that, like, I don't even know how to mentally wrap my head around. You know, when you're like, I want this character, but he's similar to 10 other things that have been out, and the finishers are just effects that already exist, it's really easy. You know, I shouldn't say easy, but it's just like much easier to process.
Here he comes.
The readiest moves.
Readiest.
And that's a pun on the prettiest, right?
Yeah, of course.
Too old for this.
Oh, no.
Ooh. No love, no love. This is called a big body microphone, Big Daddy microphone choke.
Yep.
Your opponent must scream, "Oh, daddy," or if not, your finish rolls +7.
Brian Lee, I've heard some legendary conversations of what it's like for you to visit the chiropractor.
Oh, we don't talk about those in public. I don't know.
The penguin in the background just went, "Oh no!"
I don't know who's talking about me. I'm just
Me.
enjoying my time getting adjusted. What's wrong with that?
I
huh?
mean, there's a reason we had to
Oh, hell
pixelate
yeah,
his
man.
mouth.
I can't enjoy getting adjusted from my good friend Paul Morel, huh? It's better than Verna. She said, "Can I record this?" I said, "What?"
I see a penguin. Oh no! We're gonna have a competition. It's gonna be Penguin eating creme brulee, Brian Lee getting an adjustment, and John P winning the first turn roll on a 10 to an 11 against a 10 with the champion to Kickstarter. Who makes the loudest?
Belt
Oh.
tease, baby.
Oh no, I win that easy.
Oh, this is not getting done. We're gonna argue about his gimmick for 20 minutes. We'll do our best.
Oh, Jameson.
I love
Yeah,
you.
I don't think she did that properly.
No.
but we'll figure it out.
Special request. Listed the address twice.
Yeah. So what address did they put on the order? Any?
137 West 51st Street, Savannah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, so they do have the right.
Yeah.
For the 500,000 people watching this,
What do you want me to do with this? Turn the label and all that?
Yeah, we should have bleed Taylor's shit.
Ignore
You
that
got that guy's
address.
credit card number too on file? Was that
Don't worry
What's his-
about it.
Yeah.
what's his social?
No!
What's his credit
Yeah.
card number? Last four.
I wonder if that guy ever found that wallet.
That's what I was thinking about. Yeah.
I found a wallet in
Your best
in the
US
parking
champ
lot
right here.
of the Best Western, right?
Best
And
US
being the
champ right
honorable
here, 'cause they're the
person I
people.
am, I first scanned it for money. Well, there's no money in it. I decided to return it to its rightful owner. However, it did have the social security card in there, along with all its other stuff. And I did my research on it, and I ended up finding like a nickname on the name, and then I found like an Instagram account, sent them a message. I don't know if you.
Yes, Princess Aneka, we are doxing people live on E2.
But I wanted to be like social security number in your wallet with all your credit.
Hey.
Yeah.
It's more common than you think that most people, especially in this community, do that.
I don't know. Doesn't seem too
I know,
wise.
I locked that shit up safe.
Raise your hand if you
Starbreaker.
carry your social security card.
500
Is
bits.
consolation in the chat?
Sounds like a Zach action.
Simple yay or nay would have done, Schmidt.
Well, they're in, they're in the Twitch chat. The
I meant the logo.
yeah,
Dropping all the dimes.
he's working on it. I've been here like
That's-
3 times in a month. Might just keep it on lock. Apparently,
Fucking
Stop
going
winning
off.
CACs, man.
listen. I tried. Pierce is the one winning them and handing them out like candy. He beat me for the one he gave Paul. It's messed up.
You guys are nice people.
Generally are.
Yeah, you're talking to the wrong.
Me, I'm looking for my 7th version of myself soon.
I
What
can't
would
say
be?
much. I've got 3.
One. Then you end up winning, and you're like, sorry,
I
guys.
bought 2.
About that. I'm out.
Sorry, guy. I
I'm
played
out.
locals with for 3 years. I need the Pulver Miser where he saves money.
Ooh, that's good.
Scrooge
That's pretty
McPig.
good. Scrooge McPee. Okay.
I read that too, Schmidt.
That real quick. We know
Once
He
again,
would
Pulverino.
adopt the child
We know Pulverino. P makes his kids Terrence
before he gave one
White
away.
Dog.
Be like, nope,
Ah,
I'm adopting a kid.
Ebenezer Scrooge. Ah,
Ebenezer.
I mean, we can make this happen.
That's the
Dude, I've been begging for P to be my accountant. You know, not that John
Oh,
P is
man.
not a John C is not a great accountant, but P he would be like he would get to the nitty gritty of everything, man.
Get Jeremy Steigerwald on the horn.
Oh God, yeah. Christmas
Oh my
art
God.
coming. Ugh.
We gotta just make sure it's proofread. All right,
Yeah.
what's your power, Trey? Say it.
Or none.
Oh man, that's it. Tech,
Buff.
you clearly don't live in the ACC.
agility,
8.
strike,
7.
sub.
6.
What?
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 Wait a minute.
This is also a unique stat line.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Rhaegar strike, not agility. Ugh.
Trey's just messing with people, dude. Let's get the real stat line. Hold on.
Nope. This is
That is the real stat line.
Nah, I can't be. There's no
you
way.
What
didn't
you
put
digging
the-
for,
You got the
Taylor?
logo, right? Please tell me you have
Which
the
one?
logo. Okay, Leia, gotta stop.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get you.
Next
Oh,
page.
he is filling my order. That's so sweet.
I mean, that type of stat line, you just give them anything they want. You want Cyclone with Berry and discard? Done.
No, he never wanted the discard part.
You keep adding discard.
Yeah, we never asked for discard.
Yes, but you're about to ask for the bottom part, and it's like,
It makes no difference in that specific scenario though, because he's shuffling. He's not stacking. He can't. What was the word? Adequately stack and then choose what he wants.
yes, but you are asking for a reskin-esque version of a world's competitor that is probably should be looked at for an errata in some capacity.
I'd say maybe a tag team, right?
That or during
Slow.
your turn, so it doesn't work on the stops. I don't know. Something.
I mean, I think we've got several other competitors that are selfish draws.
I don't think
Both
any
styles.
character in the game comes close to Cyclone's draw rate. I think maybe you could say Deathmatch King, but I don't even know if that is. Why won't this logo download? What the heck is going on?
Draws like that. Anything Pate
Wendigo.
is
Well,
draws.
Tria,
When
yeah,
Alvarez
draw
was
on
that
her
fast.
friend.
Grad Pack Theo.
None of those draw on their turn, right?
Grad Pack Theo can.
Grand Pack Theo can.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Grand
Yeah.
Pack Theo, he's got the entrance. And he's got
Wendigo
the eight.
can.
He's also got the longboat leap to draw 3 always.
There's the logo.
All right.
Speaking of Deathmatch Cardona, Steve, I know you would never let this go through, but this was a thought I had. I said,
God.
when you hit a card with Barry, draw 2.
That's my
No.
next competitor. Anyway,
Isn't somebody just do that now? When your opponent buries a card, you draw 1.
That was
No, no.
Casey,
Kobe
when
the
you
King.
draw one, your opponent bury one. So.
Yeah, the
No.
cringe guy.
No,
a
I'm
Master
talking about like
Fringe.
when you hit a card with quotation Barry, draw 2.
Yeah, but I'm saying the any card that says bury, right?
Yeah.
That would be
Would
the
be-
antithesis of what I want because, somebody else in my locals would just play it as a berry deck and they would have a full hand the whole time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so we scrapped that one.
All right. So what were we looking at doing? Because I know there were a couple ideas. The first one was like half of Cyclone, which I still don't think is a great idea. I think it's kind of very strange to be printing a character that is just a worse version of something else. Because like usually that means it gets better finishers, but then like I think that to print half of Cyclone with better finishers is kind of wild. So the first thing that you wanted was during your opponent's turn, when
That
you
was
would
if it was
bury,
going to be the half of Cyclone, yeah.
yeah.
And the thing is too, it's like it's based on stuff that Trey plays. Like Trey more than anyone I've known recently use those mutual berry stops.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
that is
I
just
like
what
that.
he
I feel like
does.
that's his play style. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just
But it's
And-
also like he needs the whole point
Would
of
I
this is
have a
'cause-
locals full of Spencer Vances and Aaron Dallases and
Ariel Lipsticks
GGD,
and now
Witch Hunter
Zach.
General, and our champion is
yeah.
true American guy. I just only play against Barry.
yes.
Well, I mean, doing the opponent's turn takes away two important factors. It takes away
Turn
your factor of, oh, I hit Avalanche Driver and did a whole bunch of stuff, right?
Yep.
And then there's the turn roll factor that's like the Ariel, the TV Commissioner, who is, by the way, a quote unquote reskin weakened version
That's
of
true.
a good character, but ended up being pretty bonkers anyway. So keep that in mind when proceeding with caution on the let's make this a weaker character, and it ends up still being broken.
Well, it had the same gimmick.
Yeah,
This is less of a gimmick.
Yeah, I was gonna say the TVA commissioner is closer to Ariel than this would be the Cyclone.
This is definitely a weaker gimmick. I'm curious if this should just. I mean, and just hear me out on this. I mean, this could just end up being his nerf in general, right?
That's what my thing was like. Cyclone, I think eventually needs some sort of hit. I'm
Like
What's the
why
problem?
don't you like I mean, and this is just a suggestion. Like, there's a good chance that this could just inevitably be Cyclone's nerf.
I mean, but Cyclone could be the other side, right? Or the problem is with Cyclone's power level, he just might be better off as a tag team, right? Like Jockey, where he's just like, all right, you've exceeded God level trigger count. You're now a tag team, you know?
Yes.
So that's
Question.
because I don't know. This is when you bury any number of cards for a card or gimmick, shuffle your deck and draw one card.
Well,
Is
add the bottom card of the deck to the hand just to be cute and different.
It doesn't makes no difference. I feel like, especially if I will say with certainty,
If they're running
I think
Kiss and
if
both,
this
they're
is
running Kiss and
printed,
both. Like,
Yeah, they run just.
I would say if this is definitely printed, that would be the end of cycle.
Good, kill
Almost, almost 100%, which will make a lot of people sad.
I think it's very simple. If Trey's in contendership for a potential future world title, you just migrate it to this character, and then Cyclone goes to Worlds, to Tech. Done.
does doing opponents' turns and turn rolls make this too strong? Because
There we go.
no,
Yeah,
I'm just genuinely asking.
Yeah.
Because I'm just asking, just because Pulverin did make the point of area, it doesn't stop the aerial, which Trey's getting buried by the gimmicks more than not, right? He has Zach
Yeah.
coming out. He has the aerial,
TDA commissioner.
Aaron Dallas, Spencer Vance.
How about you
mean,
tell them what
Spencer
I
Vance
thought? I
is
pitched
current
something
role.
amazing.
I
When
think
your
I end up
opponent
giving them
makes
back
you
all their
bury any
stops. Is
number
what I
of
think ends up
cards.
happening.
When your opponent makes you bury any number of cards from your hand, you kill that many cards they have.
Yes,
That-
but you're
That's
you're
terrible.
recycling,
Back
you're
their
recycling the
stops.
stops. and then
terrible.
It doesn't. It still doesn't help Trey's hand issue,
How is
which is
it
the main.
that terrible? That's incredible.
Yeah,
Well,
Bo-
because
boss,
they kill my
it's-
hand and then they just get to play. And
But
once they
You
kill the
choose what
one
you
card I
want to
have
kill.
back in hand, I'm giving them their stops back.
You don't
Yeah,
have
it
to
would
take
have-
their stops away. Yeah,
Yeah, but if they only have
you
stops
didn't
in
have
play,
to, but like, but what stop makes you discard the card? Really?
Butt
I
stomp?
don't know. It's like they go, "I'll kill your butt stomp all day."
and then he passes.
I'd rather be.
butt stomp.
Listen. I'm gonna make that gimmick, and I think it'll be fine, and nobody complain about it when it comes out.
Yeah, it's the same reason why I love seeing Giant mode across from me. Yeah, give me my stops back, bro. I love you. Thank you.
Giant Mo can be annoying a little bit, but it's
They're
not.
only gonna be able to
crazy.
pass Barry at that point.
But no, like the biggest thing is you are sure you're getting rid of the board, but it still doesn't solve Trey's hand issue is what he wants.
As it
Yeah,
stands
you're
right now, what's on that card, I don't think it, I mean, look, it's good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's as good as Cyclone by any means because
No.
it's losing two of the three aspects that are important. I would say if I'm gonna rank anything of importance out of the three, I think the during the opponent's turn is the most important because you have a whole line of stops that trigger your gimmick, right? Plus like the whatever sweet and salty or whatever can happen. Okay. The second most important is the gimmick, and then the third most important is what you can do on your own turn. At least in my opinion. There is arguments that the gimmick could potentially be more important, but you want a gimmick that you can control at least for every matchup, as opposed to it only being the gimmick, and then all of a sudden now it's 10% of the time, and otherwise you don't have a gimmick. So I think if you were going to cut Cyclone in half, I think you get this half, and then another gimmick would be during your turn and turn rolls. I think that makes the most sense to me.
And then that gives him like Wendigo power level, right? Where he's immune to like Witch's Apprentice. And also he has a whole line of stops that lets him draw a card.
Wendigo, another character that Trey likes to play.
Exactly. And, like this is the theme.
I see a trend. Yes. Trey does not like to lose his hand.
Well, no, his locals is dominated by destruction.
Yeah, I have to have heavy draw, or I'm just watching them play.
Trey almost reached across the table and throttled me when I hit him with 3 sweet and salty impact drop berry threes on Spencer Vance.
Wow.
Wolverino, would you like to play solitaire while you're watching, or would you like Matt Haas to play solitaire on you at locals?
You're
Well,
you're talking
P
you're
just went
talking
with
to the
McIntyre.
you're talking to the guy whose Yu-Gi-Oh deck was Yatagarasu.
Yes, what I'm
And
saying on the
who's-
flip side, would you like to watch that happen to you?
He would love it because it just adds a new trick to his wheelhouse, and he does it next week if it worked perfectly. He would love. He'd be like, "Oh, thanks, man. I'm gonna give this a try and do it better." We don't really have burial by us. Too much. I mean,
Yeah,
I would say-
because I
Penguin
can't
burial.
get down to you guys. That's the thing.
Well, Penguin
true,
is
you
the
do
burial. I would say I effectively play burial, but I also don't just commit to it.
That's true.
Penguin definitely likes his hand burial.
Yes. Trey, what's the name of the grapple?
Hairbuster.
The Hair Buster.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fun, coming up with finish names was fun last night.
All right. Do we have something on this one?
Do you remember? Do you have what I sent, Brian, or what you sent?
I can
I was about to say,
I was gonna say it might have actually sent to Drew most recently.
The
The grapple is Papa Press Slam.
Yeah, it's Papa Press Slam.
because that's what he runs. Like that's what he won his most recent
Yeah, he
CAC
killed
with.
Chuck with Papa Press Slam.
In
Killed
Cyclone,
everybody. Yeah, he runs Papa Press Slam. It's like
you ran Papa Press Slam in Cyclone when he has a finish that's already +5 and triggers his, at minimum draws one card that Papa Press Slam already would be doing.
Because 8s don't kill most of the time.
God bless. Okay. But in exchange, is it that bad to use a skill card on it?
Yes.
I mean,
I-
he gets listen. He used Papa Press Slam. He gets 2 10s and then 5 to a 7, 6 to an 8 guaranteed, which is almost what that
consistent.
finish is. Yeah,
What was the other skill card? I'm curious.
17.
double down.
Double down.
Double down on the hits.
You gotta send me what your 7 through 9 is that you were just like, yeah, chugga chugga chugga. No,
Well-
thank you.
Why,
well,
why would I
John-
want Chugga?
John Polverino, I would like to point you to a show we call Stacked Card, where we put the whole damn deck list onto the screen. Watch the product every now and then.
I mean, I'm gonna watch the product, and you're gonna try to pitch me Popa Press Slam when my finish already gives me +5 bonuses and draws potentially more cards. So I don't
Yeah.
know if the product is the correct answer, man.
Yeah,
I'm
brother,
sorry.
we love you rolling 8.
Sure. Okay.
rolling 8 on the finish rather than the 10.
Super show cards. How many come in per
5.
I'd
What's the 5 and 6?
What's my 5 and 6?
Yeah.
Technique and
Do you
So-
want it hard coded or you want it actually just Papa Press Slam?
He wants Papa Press Slam for Drew and TVA Commish.
I mean, it's
I would
also
assume that's
good.
I would assume that's the easier thought process, no, Trey?
yeah, there's TV vacation commission mimics
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, man, you really got to worry about mimicking his 5 to a 6.
Oh yeah.
That's the
In fact-
reason we run Papa Press Slam.
See
I
now,
don't want to
Trey
add to your
turned
technique
around.
and your sub, Drew.
If Trey turned around and said he strictly ran Papa Press Slam because he wanted to metagame you and thinking you were going to play Mimic, I would completely get that call.
No, I wasn't in the CAC. Instead, he just killed Rob Harry.
He's gonna love the sub name. He's gonna love it.
Oh yeah.
I ran the grapple at ACCW and didn't kill anyone with it. That's the reason it swapped to Papa Press.
I mean, 3 8s is not by any means bad, dude. Because then Crowd Meter 9 is 9s. Like,
Crowd meter 9. That's crazy work.
yeah, sure,
yeah.
you're getting a 9
Crowd
to a
Meter 1.
10.
Well, it could have been that I got to play in that Atlanta street fight. And the first 2 crowd meters, you just do nothing, and then I got killed at crowd meter 3. But
I understand the 9
What's
to a
the sub
10,
called?
but your 5 to a 7 is so useful.
Philly's not special.
What was it called?
Byron.
Oh, Philly's not
Byron.
special.
Philly's not special.
That's funny.
Love it.
Like this?
Y. And then apostrophe S. Yep.
All right. Do we have something for this?
The Maestro finish grapple is what I wanted for this. So +2 to my 6, +3 to my 5.
Won a bunch of locals with Maestro. Got second at Captain Con Underworld.
What's the 6?
The 6 is sub.
Oh, now we want a bunch of 8s. Got it.
Yeah, but the Maestro go away.
If you bumped on the
I-
previous turn roll, double the
I-
bonuses.
I know.
The Maestro's card gives +10.
Yes.
Yes.
If
Yeah,
you roll the
this
same
is it.
skill,
Oh,
If you roll the same
hold
skill.
on,
that one's
hold
even
on.
better.
Yeah, big Maestro fan here. Love Maestro.
I mean, we can do the same skill too. I'm okay with it either way.
If your opponent rolled the same skill for the turn roll, double these bonuses. +2 to your 6, +3 to your 5.
How do you spell Maestro?
MAE.
STRO.
Steve
is
just
go
yeah,
away.
this is disgusting.
I love that finish. It's
Actually,
great.
I have it. Where's my my Coven binder?
Coven binder.
You have
Yes.
a Coven binder?
I have a
That's
binder
impressive.
of all the Coven competitors.
That's cool.
That seems like it's like 1 to 2 pages, not a whole
No,
binder.
no, it has the trios, both trios.
All right, right now you're at +10 in bonuses, dude. You got a blank text strike on deck, or what we got going? That's before the bonus of going to +15. So like, I'm glad you guys play all these guys. We can't be like, I like Cyclone, so let's use his broken gimmick. Then let's take this character's strongest finisher. You know, we gotta find some balance here.
Would changing the grapple to Wendigo's grapple be better? Just +1 to my 9. I can reroll.
I have no idea. What do you have here for a strike? Because I think this is just
I would have done Nico's strike.
what's the Nika strike? What is that? You gotta speak. in name riddles here.
Nicolamai.
What does it do?
It's the if stopped, I can discard or bury any number of cards in my hand and draw the same amount.
It
Mr. C.
stopped.
See, now if you had full Cyclone gimmick, this thing would be really cool.
Oh yeah.
But yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
or not.
If stop, bury, or discard any number of cards from your hand to draw the same number of cards.
And bonus?
it's +3 days 5, +1 days 8.
14 to potentially 20. I love it.
I think way too much. Again, I said because like I think Cyclone needs to be nerfed. So like to say we're gonna do like a more fair Cyclone with better finishers doesn't seem too good. It doesn't seem fair. What is the strike called? You didn't see this or something?
Can you see this?
Oh.
Can you see this?
Can you see this? Can you see this? Yes, we can. Oh, somebody's in trouble upstairs.
I will say, with that stat line, though, these finishers kind of make sense. But still.
That means nothing. I mean, you guys put way too much weight on a stat line. When Ikazo comes out and you have a warrior-specific spectacle and a warrior-specific card, you're just going to be like, wow, this is really good. I want
Ooh,
to.
there's a spectacle? Okay, JNK
Yeah.
is kind of happy now.
What is your 5? What is this +3 to what?
My technique is 5.
Uh-huh. And what's the other one?
And my
+1 to
8
the 8.
is agility.
And what's your strike? I feel
7.
like
My strike is 7. Yeah.
you're going to get what I call the Vic the Brick treatment. When we copy somebody's finisher, we get slightly less. Well, Vic used to always be like, I want this guy spotlight. It's like you're getting it at crowd meter 1. It works.
Isn't +2 to a 7 better than +3 to 5?
No.
Okay. This is the impact special. 10 and 3 9s. Okay.
Isn't his agility 8? So where are you getting 10 and 3 9s?
Oh, it's 1 to 8, 2 to 9.
What are you talking about?
I'm an
It's-
agility 8, strike 9 or strike 7, so it would be 10 3 9s with this.
Yeah. What
But
did
it's
he
on my
say? Is that what he
6-5.
said?
It is also on a 5-6, but hey,
Not on my most protected.
he gonna walk in to beg for mercy.
Never.
Doesn't sound too bad when you have an if stopped effect on it.
Hey,
So this is the one we need to tune to go
What
away.
was the sub? You trying to do the double bonus thing? No,
Yeah.
that's the. Oh man. I think that's way too strong. I actually can't even believe Maestro's card does that.
Well, that's the reason I said after a bump. So it's
Yeah.
like Cyclone
Right.
Strike, the double bonuses.
the he talked about he hit the strike and the grab and the Pope of Press Slam the most in the CAC.
Cyclone Strike is +1 to his 7, 8, 9 double bonuses after a bump.
Oh, +6,
Mhm.
not.
Oh,
10,
you ran the double bonus
Yep.
3-1?
Yeah,
I did.
I mean, I guess it's not a bag fall, right? Oh, I keep forgetting your skills.
Again, if you watch the stat card, Florido.
When is stacked card on?
Going to show me that he packed
Before-
a finish
Before
that,
E2.
that wasn't
Or excuse me, before Toto.
every card he plays. I'm not impressed with this stacked card show at the current moment. What? The
I'm
finish
sorry,
strike,
we don't have
the
enough
finish strike
lariats.
could be the finish strike can be blank all at once. That's fine. When it's not blank, it literally recovers itself with every single card he plays.
We play against Impactus family, so
On
it's
the
just a.
How many impacted families were there? I'm just curious, not criticizing.
I'm talking about in my
I can see
locals,
why-
but there's a lot of Roaring Elbows packed now too.
Rory Elbow, good card.
Not impressed with stat card. Enjoy your first round exit in Faction Wars, buddy.
Ooh, someone's salty.
Hey man, you the one talking trash.
I mean, I think there's a method to all the method. I don't see the Pope of Press Slam being needed, but hey, guy won a CAC.
I mean, look, you can tag all you want. You could be scared of these entrance cards, or you can just go into an event and not care. Because when you look at this past Clace Cup, this man Drew played the circle with the real beater circle entrance because I was playing Mac Attack,
Yes,
and who
this
got
is a
knocked
draw.
out? And who got knocked out in Swiss while the other person made the finals.
Yeah, we have there's certainly something I would like to say about one of those people in my pod, but
What does that mean?
I mean, I had already told you, but okay.
Told me?
Yeah.
Evie Lee's not a foil.
Oh, I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Oh, Lisa Long not. What are you looking for?
Jameson.
Yeah, it's right here, but that's not Evie Lee's. That's Lisa.
Sorry, you got me too confused.
No, it's not. Evil Lisa?
Point of my rant is you got 3 finishers for a reason.
Don't mail him out. 'Cause I got to send him other stuff.
Got it. What's on the side? That's the last order.
Oh no, what happened to you? That was the last one. Yeah, I gotta leave shortly. We're just saving this. Trey, I'm gonna put this in playtesting file because I don't know what's gonna come of Cyclone, and I don't wanna like just be like, hey, have Ricky Riot version 2 on our hands, where it's like, let's errata X-Royce, and then just put out a card that is slightly worse than what we had and still dominating everything. I don't know if this would be the case. But I just want to be a little bit careful, especially when we're talking like plus 20 in bonuses. What does Cyclone have?
Like
Bonus
OG
wise.
G Cyclone has 13. If you want to pack the double strike instead of the spotlight, it's 13 with a potential 16.
Right, and right now we're at 3,
Right now you're
8, 12, possibly 17. So that seems fair. I don't think it.
I was
Doesn't,
going to say, and I mean, Cyclone also has the after the bump that you get the reduced breakout roll as well.
yeah, but you didn't even pack that one.
is that the one you ran?
No, I ran Papa Press, so I took less stats.
Cyclone not only
Yeah, I'm
has
so
not
confused.
one but two very good grapple finish, and one of them gives a 6 to a 9.
Hey, guy just won a major event.
Yeah,
Alright.
40-person CAC.
I'm curious. So we're going 5 to a breakout rolls, weights, and then cycle your hand. But you don't get the +1. Hey, this way you throw in the butterflying brainbuster.
Love that card.
Boost your bottom. Or Cyclone. I also am not looking to like immediately change anything because I feel like it's hard to change stuff when you have Project Spider. I don't think anything here is too crazy. It's just like I said, it puts me in a bad position when I have a gimmick that I think is too strong. I'm getting like Ricky Riot flashbacks where it's like X-Royce was obviously you guys weren't really around for this, but we used to have like a public playtesting group. And I was like very, very open about X-Royce is too strong. He should only look at 2 cards, not 3. And the playtesting group unanimously said that I was wrong. And they also flagged Rhaegar, Leo the Law, and another competitor as too strong. So we had a playtesting group that like released X-Royce and somebody else. And there were 2 characters I had to reprint because they nerfed Leo the Law, which again is like kind of hilarious, you know? Like that's like one of the most underpowered characters. This is pre-mustache. We only got 2 of them. So my main concern here is that we're gonna take Cyclone, who's a problem, and then we're just gonna be like, we're gonna give you like more mild Cyclone, who's still very good. But I think that your gimmick is much more fair because you're not getting it on your turn. So it's kind of like Wendigo power.
That's what I
Right,
said. It's
like-
all this. It's Wendigo. It's G.
Yeah,
It's Theo. Well, I have less than Grandpack Theo.
yeah. I mean, and Grandpack Theo kind of didn't get printed as he was. You know, it was kind of like a long-term plan. You know, that came out after to kind of boost him up when he went from unplayable to like, you know, Chris Pate God mode. But also those characters that you're mentioning are not, they're all amazing characters, right? Geo, Wendigo. Like
Yes,
it's not
they're
like he's in
characters I
any
play.
sort of
Yeah, that's
bad
all he
company.
plays.
All right. Did you drop the constellation here? Thanks, man. Well, what an eventful day. I feel like this was like the longest episode of Expanding the Universe ever.
I don't think it was, but it definitely felt.
just
longer
felt like
because,
that, you know?
The,
it might
the
be-
first hour and a half.
Yeah.
I was actually like, Love Shore, great dude. You know, I was actually like, my brain is spinning right now. Like I'm just like
Like the planets. That's what he
wait,
wanted.
what, you know? Yeah, he got it, captured it. Nice.
Before we sign out, I just want to say like,
And I also don't think we put a broken character. I just think we put a confusing character.
I want to apologize